Podcast, a platform created to entertain, educate, and evolve the modern-day deer hunter. Hello, welcome to the Deer Hunter Podcast. I want to say a huge thank you to all the guys, the girls, the supporters of the show that have been following us for the last year and a half. We made it to our 100th episode, and that's pretty exciting for us. We recorded this episode earlier this week on Wednesday. Drew, Ryan, Nick joined me in the garage. It kind of got long, but we had a lot of fun. We had a couple drinks, kind of cut it loose. We got a two-part 100th episode, actually. It's just crazy the way it worked out. The way that it fell is the third episode of Deer Camp fell as our 100th episode. But that was a couple weeks ago. I wanted to get a little current. Plus, I wanted to get those guys in here and talk about a couple things. So I'm going to let that one rip first. That's going to be, so we're going to have a two-part installment for the 100th episode. Us guys here in the garage just shooting the shit, talking. We get into gear, late season, some of the failures throughout the season, some of the success throughout the season, some of the the learning curve that's come along with this season. We had a shitload of fun recording it this week. So today, currently, it's Sunday the 9th. This will be up tomorrow. I just wanted to get on here and say thanks, man. It's been really cool doing this to this point and meeting all you guys that message in all week. And I'm looking forward to meeting any and everyone in person that wants to come out. We're going to do the first Deer Hunter Podcast meetup. It's going to be the premiere of the film project that we've been working on all season. January 26th, Grand Rapids, Michigan. That is the weekend of the Hunting Time Expo, which is the biggest hunting and fishing expo in the state of Michigan. In Grand Rapids, that day, Saturday, I will be in the Exodus booth for most of the day, also in the Backcountry Hunters and Anglers booth, and also just milling around the expo, checking out everything that's going on. But Drew, Ryan, Nick, all the guys will be over there for the weekend. And then Saturday night, we rented a theater that is about 10 minutes from that expo. And that theater has a big space to, we have our own room, our own theater room, essentially, with a big screen and the whole deal. But it's got a bar in there, and it'll accommodate a couple hundred people. So we have 200 tickets. Just went on sale. Now, if you go to deerhunterpodcast.com, right on the front page, there's a photo. It says the premiere of the forest. Click there. It'll take you to where you buy tickets. And I'm pretty confident that they were going to sell out. I want to make sure that, friends and family, listeners of the show get first crack at the tickets. So they are up for sale now. If you think you want to come out, have a couple beers with us, talk deer hunting for the night, see the film. It's going to be in partnership with Backcountry Hunters and Anglers, too. So if you've ever been to one of their pint nights, it's going to be like a pint night style meetup. And we're going to kick back proceeds, a portion of the proceeds for the night, to the Michigan chapter of Backcountry Hunters and Anglers. There's going to be it sounds like there's going to be some raffles, some giveaways from the companies that have been involved helping us get the film done. So love to see anybody come out that night, shake hands, meet people face to face, have a couple beers, come out, enjoy the expo, make a weekend of it. If you got kids, get a babysitter, bring your wife, your husband, come get a hotel room for Saturday night, and come hang out with us. It should be an absolute blast. So that's the last weekend in January, the 26th, Grand Rapids, Michigan, the premiere of The Forest. I hope to see everybody there. So, actually this weekend, we're not even done filming yet. We're going to try to go up north this weekend and get a late season archery kill and potentially a muzzleloader kill yet still on film. So we're not even wrapped up with this thing yet, but people have been asking, so I wanted to make sure I got those tickets available. And I wanted to, like I said, to give podcast listeners and friends and family first crack at them, because I am optimistic that that will sell out. And then obviously after that, the film will be available, I believe, on DVD, and we will release a digital download as well. But that's probably going to be at least a month after the premiere of the film. So if you want to come check it out, come check it out. But we're going hunting again next weekend. I'd really like to get another deer. Not really like to. I'd need to get another deer. I have been consuming a lot of venison lately, so my buck that I have in the freezer right now is probably not going to last that long. Love to have 1 or 2 more deer in the freezer, and it looks like the deer hunting's been good. I've seen a lot of guys in the last couple days laying down some nice deer too, man. Mark Kenyon just shot a giant deer yesterday. A couple other guys here in Michigan I saw on public land are laying down big deer. So if you still got tags in your pocket, man, don't let them burn a hole in there. Get out there, get them filled. Enjoy the rest of the season. And thanks a lot, everybody. It means the world to me that you guys message in, and we've gotten to know who you are and kind of established and built a little bit of a deer hunting community here. And we intend and plan on doing this for a long time. So if you like the show, do us a huge favor. Share it through any means that you have, okay? Facebook, Instagram, whatever. That's so helpful to us as we, try to grow over the course of the next couple of years and have some staying power and don't get lost in the mix. So I don't know. You guys are awesome. Thanks for listening. Enjoy the 100th episode. That's the best place to get it nowadays, your own kitchen, right?
Yeah. I think I have better luck pissing my mouth for flavor versus getting something out in town.
Big B makes
Big B does good stuff. What?
Traditional bow hunters.
Sam Koviak.
Sam Koviak.
Yeah.
Sam Koviak. Jason Sam Koviak. He shot a stud of a buck, huh? Didn't he?
Nice buck this season. Very nice buck.
Beautiful deer.
Yeah. Guys, I want to call him up.
You know what I noticed this lately? You're just talking about like the QDM stuff and this and that. Is some of these guys shoot these big giant bucks, and they're like not appealing to me. Just the way the racks look and stuff, and like you could tell.
Oh.
It's like my brain just doesn't like. It's like a girl that's had too many plastic surgeries or something.
Yeah.
To me, my brain just doesn't recognize it. It doesn't get me excited as much as I see like a thick mane beam, like Northwoods Maine buck.
Yeah.
With just like mass all the way through and a
Dude.
good looking deer that my brain can be like, oh wow, you know what I mean? But I see some of those
A heavy Michigan buck is what gets you
300,
excited.
284 inches, 300 inches, and it's like, well, I don't know, that thing just looks weird, man.
Do you know what gets me fully torqued?
Let's hear it.
Michigan deer walks out and whatever it is, that little piece of paper in my pocket says I could kill it
Yeah,
and eat the fuck out of it.
Wow.
dude, I'm glad that I haven't lost that.
Nope, can't eat the
No.
antlers.
No.
I don't know.
I've passed on a lot of deer, and and that's I guess it.
I think you should pass on passing.
I should a little bit more, but when you're out hunting, you decide. You know what? When you're out hunting, you decide to pass on something. There's nothing wrong with deciding to pass on something when you're hunting. It's all your own deal. You know what I mean?
It's fun to pass
what
on
your
deer
prerogative is.
No, it's not.
when you have deer to pass on.
Yeah.
The freezer's empty. Shoot the fucker.
But everybody's situations and areas are so different.
Well, it depends on your area. If you have higher hopes for an area for a bigger bucks, and that you want to try to get a bigger buck out of an area, that's what you scout it for. And you're seeing bigger bucks sign, then maybe you do pass on smaller ones. But on other areas, when you want to just go kill a deer, and you don't have any expectations, you want to just kill a deer, then you shoot whatever what it is. I guess it just all depends on what your thing is. I don't have venison in my freezer right now, and there's not very many things that are going to walk by me this season. Squirrel, cat, whatever I see out in the woods, my arrow or my muzzle loader is going off, and it's going to end up in my freezer.
Yeah.
Because I got to put that fat on before winter, baby.
I like what you're saying. I like the fact that you get fully torqued off just
Seen a legal
Yeah.
deer walk
critters
by.
in the woods, man.
Yeah,
You're fucking out there hunting like as a hunter.
I'm out there working my ass off with whatever little time that I do have to get out there. So it's going down.
Yeah, but you're coming at it from a rifle guy. You got 2 weeks.
Yeah.
When you're a bow hunter, you're looking at
You got time.
3
That's
months,
right.
and
That's a
it's
good
like,
point.
Yeah.
do I want to burn through my tag over a 4-point the second week of October when I'm just getting into the heart of the
Yeah, you do.
Right. Gun
You burn
season.
through your archery tag, and then you go by.
Well, you get the combo tag.
Yeah, you get the
here. I
combo.
mean, we're obviously lucky to be a 2-buck state in Michigan, where most people do not have that privilege.
Do they still have, can you buy a regular archery and you can shoot?
Let's
Whatever.
talk about that for a second. That is a privilege.
Yeah.
I feel
Well,
like if there's so
yeah.
many people that are
You could look at it 2 different lights.
Was Minnesota one?
The
a
buck
lot of
rule.
states are $1 tag.
Yeah.
I mean, you can look at it 2 different ways.
Yeah, you're right.
You
And
can
I
It's your
have.
deer management, and I see bonuses in both ways. But it depends on what your goal is.
It
Right.
does. It very
Your
much
personal
does.
and with all the QDMA nowadays, and a lot of guys want. There's more trophy hunters, I think, nowadays because all the social media and there's a lot of unrealistic expectations. Yeah, you can go to big buck states and go to ranches and go to guided hunts. Where your chances are a lot higher, but they need to hold those giant deer. People are just more trophy hunters nowadays. It's just the way the social media and everything's kind of drilled into
Right.
people's heads. Almost some people feel like they're not succeeding if they're not shooting a giant 140-inch buck.
I wonder what hunting culture would be like
Without social media?
without the onset of social media.
It'd be
right now.
like it used to
It'd
be.
be totally
like it
different,
used to
right?
be. It would be like it used to be. You go up north, you see a legal buck, you shoot it.
Well,
I feel like we've come a long way with.
yeah.
There wasn't a
management in
whole lot of
Michigan.
APR back in the 1980s.
Yeah, the
No.
deer hunting wasn't very good either, I don't
No.
think.
No,
And
the
even in the
spiker.
1990s, there wasn't really a lot of QDMA deer management. Guys who wanted to grow big bucks. People wanted to get a deer. They went up deer
Right.
season and get a deer.
I can understand doing it when it comes to balancing, a whitetail ecosystem and numbers and that. But if you're just trying to do it to get bigger racks, then that pisses me off when they're trying to put that.
You know what kind of
On you.
Yeah,
That they're
on
trying to
me.
force it on you. And I get that. I totally get that.
What kind of irritates me about it is like the antlers take away from the whole hunting thing.
Right.
Like if that's all you care about and that's all you're focused on,
Go buy a pair online on eBay.
you're
know?
you're just you're missing
You
out.
get
On,
sheds online.
you're
Yeah.
you're missing out on a whole lot of the what hunting is, and I think
It's a small part. You're right. It's a
I think
small
it
part.
stems from a lot from guys.
Egos.
No, I don't want to say that.
I don't know.
I don't think it's that.
No,
bad.
For
hear
some
me
people
out.
it is.
I think it has a lot to do with like I don't want to say like commitment, but it's guys that get properties
Mm-hmm.
and
Manage
they're
it.
yeah they're managing it. They're putting time and money into it,
Right.
and they're not seeing what they see on TV in the Midwest states, well,
Iowa,
like Kansas and
whatever.
Iowa,
Yeah.
and that's what they're into, and that's what they want to see. And it's a loud vocal group. They're organized. They obviously people that have money and invest money like that have money to get organized as well. I
There's
mean,
some money in that organization, that's for sure.
yeah, absolutely. So, but you're missing. I feel like go be a hunter.
I think it
Like,
puts a pressure on you that you don't need when you're hunting. Sometimes, you know what I mean. And I'm not going to take away from the guys like Eberhard or Dan, Infault or any of the guys that we know that consistently go chase big bucks, and that's what they want to do.
Yeah.
That's what they want to do,
Do what you want
and
to do.
they're good at it. You know what I mean? Those guys are good at shooting big bucks.
I just feel like
But
there's a lot more to hunting. And that's a fun side of it, right? I mean, we've done the food
well, it's the
plots,
dreaming.
built,
It's dreaming of growing deer and seeing bigger deer.
built blinds. The
I-
culture around that is a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, any
But-
excuse to get the tractor out and hook discs up to it for a weekend up north with a
it's
cooler full
awesome.
of beer.
You
I
think
mean,
about deer.
It's kind of hard to get excited about seeing a fork horn out on a food plot if you're going to see, I see guys on social media that are videotaping hunts and they're showing their camera screen and there's like 15 does and 4 bucks.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, yeah, I can see like the big antler thing. I mean, there ain't a whole lot else going on here.
Right.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's a lot different than going somewhere and figuring
Not
the
seeing
woods
deer for
out,
3
and
days.
not seeing deer for 3 days,
Right.
right? Your attitude changes
Oh
real
my
quick.
gosh.
But you feel
appreciate anything brown in the woods.
feel like just the hunting culture. It's more of a predatory thing as a hunter.
Mhm.
Like coyotes don't manipulate their landscape they just go in there and kill, and they take advantage of what there is. And I kind of enjoy that aspect of it.
1v1 in the environment, yeah.
I'm not knocking the guys that want to do that the other way. I enjoy that too, and I think it's fun, and it's definitely come this part of the year. Man, to have a spot that is going to have a lot of deer and to have a blind and stuff. Holy shit, that sounds lovely right now.
Oh, yeah.
Versus
Yeah,
going and sitting in a tree stand, freezing your dick off, and not seeing a deer for a week.
It sounds pretty nice to be sitting in a heated box blind looking
Sometimes.
over a couple acres of oats with the
But
muzzle loader.
I try to do
Where-
a pop-up blind every season. I try to hunt out of a pop-up blind a few times with the heater on and enjoy myself. 'Cause
Right.
you've beaten yourself up pretty good by muzzleloader season. And you get out there and pack yourself some sandwiches and maybe some soup and sit out in a blind all day long, heated in your underpants if you want, I mean, very comfortable and be able to sit out there and enjoy it and watching wildlife and maybe pop something.
I don't
it's
think
cool.
you can overlook the box blind either, just for the fact of bringing youth up into the sport.
Mhm.
To have a nice little box blind on a food plot where you're going to have a couple does come out and everything. Little kid, you can take them up into a tree stand and make them miserable.
Right.
You might breed one tough motherfucker out of the deal, or that kid's gonna really hate hunting.
Yeah. I'd be
You know,
worried
it's a
about the
double-edged
latter.
sword.
I'd be worried about the latter one.
Right.
But like a lot of guys hunting the public land nowadays, say back from when we were kids, the pop-up blinds, like the Rhino blind or whatever, these blinds that we've been using in the past, the Maristep or whatever, they didn't have those back when we grew up hunting.
Right.
And they make it very comfortable and easy to set up a box blind essentially on public land where you can't manipulate it, and go anywhere with it. It's pretty cool.
They are
Yeah.
pretty slick blinds.
Yeah.
Before I completely lose my whole train of thought, because I don't want to spend a whole bunch of time on this kind of negative, I don't feel like you can have this conversation and not a whole lot of good comes out of it, because people fall on both sides of it.
There's a lot of
and-
shaming, I don't see it as much on social media this year, but it seems like last year I seen more antler shaming on people and stuff. I don't know.
What the fuck is that?
Well, it's you'd
Yeah,
see
you get
people
guys
post,
on there
and then they'd be
like-
like, "Oh, way to let them grow." I guess
Yeah. It's like a dick but smaller. Good job.
right. I personally, that drives me crazy.
Right.
That would drive me crazy. I'd want to just
Well,
punch
it's just,
that person in the nose.
it's
if I
taken
saw 'em.
away from. You don't know.
How
what
dare you? You know,
you don't
like,
know what that
judge somebody's
person
hunt
went
like
through
that.
to get that deer.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
you have no idea. You don't know the backstory. That guy
And
could
it
be.
doesn't matter.
Honestly,
it's a legal deer.
That
Good
guy
for you, buddy.
could be
Good for you.
dying of cancer in 90 days, and his last dying wish was to go out and shoot a whitetail buck.
Well, that's just a lesson in life in general. You never know what people are going through, so you shouldn't judge anybody.
But there you go.
yeah.
Here's where my major thing, where I kind of fall on it. It would be great and cool to see bigger deer more frequently,
Right.
but I think that also kind of takes away
You wouldn't
from
appreciate
the allure.
them as much. You wouldn't appreciate them as much. How many giants have you seen in your
But-
lifetime? You'll remember it. Like
What?
I saw the biggest buck of my life 15 years ago. You know. Sorry, man.
That's okay.
You.
Sorry, man.
It's all about
That's all
Ryan.
you care about.
I'm sorry, but you don't see that many giant bucks in Michigan in your
Right.
lifetime, and
But it's a
you
special
remember 'em.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so it would be nice to see that. I'm not knocking the guys that I mean, shit, man, if you've invested a bunch of time and work and money into a property and you're letting year-and-a-half-old bucks walk and they're walking across and people are, I can see both sides of it, but where I get to have a problem is just in general, in life, I've never been a big fan of restrictions. Like,
Well, I get. Yeah.
in general.
I've tested those in my life.
Yeah, and I don't want the woods is kind of where I've always went away to get away from restrictions.
Yeah.
So I don't really want you putting more restrictions on the time and space that I spend in the place that's most disconnected from all this fucking cockamamie bullshit that's going on around when you're not in the woods.
Yeah.
And if you're restricting what I'm trying to do out there, I find that to be a frustrating concept. Is that
Oh, yeah.
Totally. I'm on.
Oh yeah,
I'm on
that's
board with
my,
you. I get what you're saying.
That's been my whole thing the whole time. Even when
don't
we
tell
had,
me what to do,
Well, that's going
motherfuckers.
back to
Ah,
what Bomber
God
was
damn it.
worried about when we were first talking. Here in Michigan, there's a 3-4 county area that the QDMA has been working with the DNR, I think, and
Yeah,
other
St.
people that are interested. They've probably gathered petitions and all that
Like
stuff.
it's St. Clair, Sanilac, Huron, and Tuscola County.
They're wanting to go for better on one side, I think, for a period of time to try it out, like 3-year
Right.
time. I feel like with what they're doing here with this late doe season, which I think's cool, especially if you haven't gotten a deer, But
Do you know if that's just for
I don't-
population or just for
we should
trophy
get a hold
hunters?
of Ben again and see if we can get him on here to prick his brain on some of this
Well,
stuff. But
and here I'll be clear on this point too, that if the biologists in the state came up and said, "Hey, we got the science to kind of back it up," and I think I've even heard Mark Kenyon talk about some of those points.
Mhm.
I'm sure the QDMA has those numbers. Like,
they're
what does it do for the health of the deer herd? Does it benefit?
they've done a
the
lot of
deer
research.
herd?
They've sunk a lot of money in research.
I'm
yeah.
certain,
Yeah,
and
yep.
and I'm kind of an asshole for having such a strong viewpoint, but
Every
not
asshole's got an
knowing
opinion.
all that.
Yeah.
But in the conversations that I've had with like Chad Stewart and a couple other biologists,
Right.
they've never been able to clearly tell me that definitively, yes, like antler point restrictions
It's
are
kind of obvious.
going to benefit your deer herd.
Yeah, if it
Well, it's obvious it'll benefit your age structure in general.
Yeah.
There's no way to deny that. Like if
Right.
you're pass on smaller point bucks, you know what I mean? If you can't shoot a 4 or better,
I don't know, man.
How could
His
you
deer
say-
was 3.5 years old, and it was what was that? It was a 4-point, wasn't
it
it?
was a 5-point, who we all thought was a year and a half.
well,
Little-
I'm not saying that,
So,
there's
you're
all
telling
sorts
me
of
a
stuff out there.
3.5-year-old Michigan whitetail.
His
You
deer
would not
is
have
a
been named-
unique case. It's
But
hard
no, but when
to
you're talking
use it
about some of
as
these
a-
bigger bucks, they're talking like you said 3.5 for yours.
Yeah, I had
it was 3.5.
two people
right.
look.
But
Well,
we're
we're talking about 4.5, 5.5.
settle down.
Settle
Let me
down.
talk for a minute
I
here.
know. I'm just saying.
I'm just saying, like you
It's
could
not
let
100%.
his deer could walk its whole life and never meet an APR.
I
That
agree.
deer could be 7.5 years old and a 5-point.
I agree.
It just goes to
I
show
agree,
you.
100%.
So APR does not mean shit
doesn't
when it
c-
comes down to that.
It was small when he walked out.
There's always the what do they call it? Exception,
Start putting buzzers on the
Guys
bar.
don't need to yell over
right?
each
There's
other.
always exception. Well,
You
we had a
have to
good
yell over
conversation.
him.
You kind of do, but
Well, I'm just trying to
One
really had
He's
the
emotional.
show.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
One
I'm
at a
emotional.
time.
we know this by now.
One at a time. Raise hand.
About deer hunting, I get a little bit excited.
Yeah.
Man,
I'm sorry, guys.
I get a little
I do
heated about
too.
the whole antler point restriction
anything
thing.
deer hunting, I'm
it's
gonna get
just.
excited about.
I think it's the restriction thing.
Yeah, guys-
it's just. It's like, really, do we need another thing that we need to listen to?
Right. And
Like, fuck's sake.
I'm not
Yeah.
for antler point restrictions.
No.
I don't really care. But
I'm on. I'm
I
on
pass
completely. I think I don't know. I'm neutral. I'm open to whatever. But I do get sick seeing guys beating each other up either way. There's tons of variables. Let the fucking biologist and the state figure that shit out. I mean, just because your group wants to sit around and shoot, there's ways to go about shooting bigger deer, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
you're
Use
never
your own
gonna
discretion.
you're never gonna not have the highest density. Let's hope we don't. Let's fucking hope that we don't ever not have the highest density of deer hunters in our state.
Right.
I mean, it's not that great when you're sitting out there hunting and somebody sneaks up on you, blows a round off 60 yards from you. That shit kind of sucks. But I sure am glad after when I get done hunting and I go pump gas. There's a bunch of dudes in orange and camo, and we just, everybody's kind of out doing the same thing. Everybody here loves the hunting, and the culture, I think, is so strong.
I think it's undeniable that any deer hunter could say that the culture between like Michigan and Pennsylvania, in some of these states, especially Michigan, I mean, that's what we know the most, that
Right.
it's more ingrained in our culture as Michiganians that we're
Is that what we are?
Michiganiacs.
That's one of them.
Michiganiacs from Uncle Ted, but no, that it's about deer hunting. I mean, it's just so ingrained in being a Michigan person. I don't know.
We
I feel-
officially lost all of our QDMA listeners.
I like QDMA.
I do too.
And last year, I think I
wanna
would have been
be
more
clear
for the
about that.
APR restriction. Last year, if you asked me, I'd say I'm 100% for that. This year, I'm starting to not get as hard line on that. You know what I mean? It's been tough for me to kill deer. I guess for my own selfish needs. You know what I mean? And if it was, I'd play by the rules. You just play by the rules.
I've got the QDMA signs hanging up in my shed at the cabin. The
I believe
sign
it.
out on the
Remember.
road. and-
Rah rah rah.
Right.
Yeah, we'll have those guys into the studio anytime. I think that's a
I
amazing organization and a great group, and it's hard to argue that they haven't done more in deer hunting than any organization.
They've
And
done a
I
lot
know.
for
I'm a
conservation.
big QDM fan.
Yeah.
I'm a
I-
fan of the association
I like
of QDM.
the science of it all, and I like I do it on my own property. I just don't like the idea of the state mandating the whole thing.
Yeah.
That's where you lose me.
Yep.
Get organized.
Talk
And-
to your neighbors.
But the numbers
Get
say
shit figured out.
Don't
Well,
the
they've
numbers
had-
say that things have been going? I wasn't Mark. Didn't Mark just do a Meat Eater podcast recently?
Could you pass me that Dizzy Pop
I don't
opener?
know. He was on one. He's been on a lot of them lately.
Thanks,
I don't
buddy.
know.
Yeah. Well, recently they were talking about because the guys from Meat Eater, Ranella,
Mhm.
Giannis,
Yeah, they did a bow hunt or something.
they did a bow hunt. Was it here in Michigan?
Yeah, but it was on like some super managed, like
Yeah, I understand.
500 acre thing.
Because obviously the other guy that was on the podcast was the place that owned the property, and he had a very stern Southern accent. So
Mhm.
I was confused then as to where they were.
Southern Ohio, possibly.
No,
It
more
was
so.
in Michigan. They were hunting the west side of Michigan.
I've heard them have that guy on the podcast,
Yeah.
so I'm assuming they know him and he has some properties or whatever. But Mark, because Ranella's kind of the same mindset that we are,
Yeah.
right? Like, it was cool when he came on the scene and you're like, oh, this guy fucking gets it.
Well,
like,
yeah,
he
he
just-
made it cool to be a meat hunter again.
Yeah.
You know?
Right. He made it
before-
cool to be a hunter.
That's
Right.
why I got out of this shit, because I got tired of just watching Chach just sit
No,
on
he
farm field edges in Iowa shooting big old buckles.
yeah, no, he honestly he
Chotches.
changed the game. I mean, he made it
Right.
a lot better.
Which is,
Brought it back to reality.
Yeah, that's what I...
he helped me enjoy it more.
Right.
God damn. I was like, oh yeah, that totally makes sense. This is why I haven't been.
Yeah.
That's why I haven't been having that much fun.
Well, it does help to have like a wordsmith like him
Right.
actually
yeah.
represent.
But I think you got to go and act on it, right? Like this season, going up to the big woods and hiking around and seeing new. I mean,
That was awesome,
fuck, right?
dude. That was
How? I mean, it's like that's what I'm saying. The guys that want to just sit in the blinds and see bigger deer, you're fucking missing the point, kind of. Like you're a little bit off track. You know what I mean? Like you're hunting, but you're not being that
You're
aggressive.
doing about 5%
You're not
of what
being
hunting can be.
that
You know what I mean?
aggressive.
I'm
Get
just saying
out,
the full-
see some new
full
land.
exposure.
Yeah, man.
Full
Maybe you're
exposure.
not going to see a 160
You're not enjoying
inch
nature.
10 point tonight,
Right.
but you might see some shit. You're definitely going to see some shit that you wouldn't see if you don't go.
Mm-hmm.
You know what it's going to look like out of the window of that blind tonight, for the most part, aside from the deer
Saying the
variable.
mobile hunting game and scouting and picking to hunt different spots.
Just going hunting, like going
Yeah.
to different places and checking out different scenery and applying and learning tactics. Holy shit. That it's like
Yeah.
just having the sun come up and being like, whoa, you know? That is the craziest part of mobile
There's-
hunting, and like just hunting big tracts of land when you're just traveling around and hunting is like walking out somewhere or whatever, and like the daylight comes up and you've never spent a morning in that spot, you know?
Yeah.
And you're like, holy
that's
shit.
cool.
I'm kind of dreading the day where like my body, because I'm in the trades, work stupid ass hours.
I was thinking
My
that.
body's gonna break down on me. You know, you're not gonna be mobile hunting into your 60s
You'll be
At
that guy
least
20
I
foot
don't-
off the road with your blind.
unless they come up with like bionic knees in like the next 15 years.
They already
you
do.
know.
I
Yeah.
know, man. We're already pushing 40, which isn't old, but man, like just getting into the
35.
mobile
I'm a
hunting.
little more sore getting out of bed every
We're no
morning
yeah.
already.
We're
you
no
know?
spring chickens, that's for sure.
Stuff cracks and
I
pops that probably
definitely
shouldn't.
need to stay away from sugars and starches.
Sugars is a big thing.
Starches too, man. They just make me feel terrible
Yeah.
and get me super fat.
Luckily, there's none of that in any of these beers right now.
Right. Nothing but sugars.
Well, I reserve a portion of my
For alcohol
food
only.
Yeah.
yeah.
Dude, although
But
I-
unfortunately, I'm down to like one meal a day because I need like the rest of the pie for my drinking.
So I don't think you say anything about this being the 100th episode, did
Yeah, I
you?
figured we'd get right into that. Let's I just want to say back on that thing, Mark Kenyon was on one of the Meat Eater podcasts here recently, and they talked about the numbers, and Mark did talk about some stuff about how, like, you know, just managing an older age class can help a deer herd. I should revisit that, and I think people should also listen to that because there was some interesting stuff on there, but
Should have him on and talk about it again.
Yeah. We should get in touch with Hilliard and see if he can hook us up with a couple QDMA guys that
Mhm.
actually know what they're fucking talking about.
Yeah.
well, Josh's been there for a while. I assume he's
Yeah.
got a pretty good finger on the pulse of what's going on.
When I saw him at one of the pint nights, he mentioned a couple names that
yeah.
We
would
should have
definitely
him.
be worth getting
I
on.
saw he and Mark and a couple of the First Light Crew guys are up at Mark's cabin right now hunting,
Sweet.
which seems like a bad time to go bow hunting in northern Michigan,
right.
A little bit.
Yeah, the week
But it'll
after
be-
rifle season closes.
After they just been hammered.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, I went out hunting Sunday. It was
it is also,
crickets.
though, if you've been paying attention to your historical data, which I'm assuming a guy like Mark probably is, he probably has an idea of where those deer are going to get away from that gun pressure, and he might know a spot where they congregate.
Yeah.
And it only takes a couple days of the pressure being off, really, for the deer to, you know.
Well,
There's
that
been a
comes-
giant tripod feeder up there all season. he hasn't been up there hunting.
yeah,
If you got
spin down cord
Ding, ding,
feeder.
ding, dinner.
Yeah,
A neon light.
trail. You know, the cellular trail camera
Yep.
on the feeder.
Hey guys, let's
Yeah.
go shoot this.
I feel like they're traveling from 302 to like around 320.
and your phone goes off. Oh wait, I mean
Ping,
4.
ping, ping. Yeah. But you could do it that way nowadays.
I know.
But
you
not
really
next
can.
year, not with no bait. But
Well, you still the cellular cams. I think they'll get more popular maybe
and
here
food
in a couple
plots.
days.
Food
And
plots
food
are
plots.
still legal.
right,
But you can't do those on public land. You can hunt over their food plots,
could
but you
do
can't
it.
plant
it'd just be
illegally.
illegal.
Yes, it'd be
You're just
illegal.
feeding turkeys.
But the DNR people. So I don't know if everybody knows that's listening to this podcast. The DNR does plant food plots in areas year after year. So if they're interested in looking for that, they can contact their local DNR probably and ask them where they're
Yeah,
planting food
just
plots,
a-
or
a-
look on their maps.
A word to those people, though, you're not going to be the only guy that knows.
Right.
Where that
Oh
food
yeah.
plot
People
is.
that there's a lot of pressure over those.
Remember those rye fields we found when we were out there backpacking
I've
around?
done
Yeah.
some by Traverse City
I
City
think,
Whitetail Management Association. Or something.
Rocky Mountain RMEF
Yeah, it does that.
and a couple other groups plant those up
They'll
there.
do
for
a
the
cut.
elk.
Will they do a cut on an area,
It-
or just do a natural
It was
area
a
and
huge,
till it
like,
out?
open meadow. Looked like it was, just big rolling meadow. And Kevin and I
All right.
came across this huge rye field.
Mm-hmm. I saw it up in Traverse City area. I'm sorry.
It looked like a natural, just pasture. And then you could tell, you could see the two tracks where they bring the tractors.
There
in
was
from
no
Old
sign.
No signs or anything.
They had when I was up in Traverse City area. I went to an area. You'd park and you walk up. And there's a big sign. Like a 3x2 sign, wood, all engraved, saying it was from Traverse City Whitetail Association rye. And what it was they took an area up there and they tilled it all out. I think maybe they even took down some trees, but it was kind of a cool. It almost looked like a golf course. It was all kind of twisting through the trees, but it was all the rye planted in there. So you could hunt these different areas, and it was broken up, and you couldn't see. You might get in 150 yards on one spot, but then it goes around and it opens up to this another little spot, opens up. It's really a neat
cool.
area. I'd like to show you guys the spring that I went up and hunted, not this season, but last season. But, it's pretty cool. So you can look into the stuff like that and hunt over food sources for this, especially going right now at the point of season. We're going into our muzzleloader season in Michigan, starting this weekend down here, or everywhere it starts
December 7th.
the 7th, but down here in this area it goes for 3 weeks. Up north it goes for 2 weeks with 2 full weekends.
Yeah.
But look for those food sources. That's what I would recommend. I mean, a lot of people know that, but some people don't out there.
No, I'm excited, man.
Muzzleloader?
Yeah,
I've had more success personally in muzzleloader season than I have in gun season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine's about the same, but
Yeah. I don't know what it is.
Oh, I love muzzleloader.
I like
it's
muzzleloader.
a cool time of year to be out in the woods.
I don't know if I'm gonna muzzleloader hunt.
No, not even around.
Well, you've been.
What? Come on.
Thinking it.
Get the fuck out of here.
Taking the
Nope.
bow.
Think so.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I'm gonna blow some smoke out.
Well,
that
he's got
thing.
meat in the freezer, so.
Yeah.
Then get some more meat with the muzzleloader.
I feel like
You owe it to the bow.
I
after
feel like
your
I
early
owe it to
season
the bow.
performance.
Owe it to the bow.
I feel like I owe it to the bow for my fucking.
There's some redemption in that.
Right
quiver
now, I
right
owe
now.
it to the belly
You know what?
because I need some meat.
Yeah.
It was a huge boost of confidence and just kind of changed the way everything is now. Getting one kill down, getting the first kill
Yeah.
on film.
I could see where you're coming from.
And now I feel like we have a system where I feel like we could kill a deer on.
Film with
Looking back, for us just getting into a tree together and where we went and what we did, and thinking that we're just gonna nail that like a split hog right off the get.
And
that
then
was
shoot
a
another
real
one with your gun.
humbling experience.
Yeah.
But now what we've learned through the course of the last couple months, I feel like we could hit the woods next weekend with a bow and be successful. I mean, I have a doe tag. I don't think it's unreasonable to think that I could go for a Saturday and a Sunday morning hunt and kill a doe with the bow. And I would definitely be super disappointed if I have a giant buck,
at 45 yards.
If it's at 45 yards, I'm firing every arrow in my quiver at it.
throw my bow right at it.
But if it's at 85 yards and it's just standing there, and I have a bow in my hand and not my muzzle loader,
In a nice clear meadow on a sunny
It's
morning.
gonna-
Oh, jeez.
Little
hurt.
fog rolling out of its nose.
Yeah.
It's gonna hurt
Maybe
so bad.
hitting a licking branch for about 10 minutes, just like
10
this.
minutes, just scratching its back with its rack. 160.
Those
inch
are coming
10
and he's
point.
just doing his thing,
right,
Yeah.
breeding them right in front
Breeding
of me.
them. Yeah. Taking a break,
Looking
smoking a
at me.
cigarette,
Yeah.
waiting for the next one to come.
Yeah,
Rolling around on his back.
the does are scratching his belly.
Oh, we could go into that whole thing, I think, for a while. Yeah.
It's like one of those movies, but with deer.
Yeah. One of those movies.
He's there to fix the cable.
Gosh. All right.
Hey, is this place for rent, or you're late on your rent?
I know you don't got no money.
All right.
Oh, man.
Yeah, 100th episode. That's crazy, huh?
Yeah, 100.
I don't even believe it, honestly. That's crazy.
I don't really either.
It's been kind of
a 100 of these.
Can you think back, dude? It's It's been crazy what's happened over 100 episodes.
Yeah, no, I just can't believe that we went from 1 to 100. Like, think back.
Year and a few months.
Yeah, year and a half.
Year and a half.
Yeah, I'm impressed that we could go 100 episodes and not lose every listener.
Hey, don't worry, we're losing new listeners every day.
Yeah, we didn't start this one off on the right foot.
Just yelling at each other over APR.
Fuck them.
Oh, yeah, those guys. Fuck those guys. Yeah, no, that wasn't the best way to start this out at all. But,
No,
hey, that's
hey,
just
know
what
what?
happens around.
Right.
We're the podcast we are because we're the podcast we are.
And
you
we
know what I
did
mean?
sit in here for 45 minutes bullshitting before we ever put headsets on.
Apologize for that.
We're definitely an uncensored podcast.
Yeah.
Just
I
some,
was just-
some stuff I say, I'm like, oh, I wish I didn't say that.
Sitting out here,
No, come back.
Yeah,
was
but
just-
hey, well,
sitting out here waiting for you guys, not drinking. Because I was like, I don't know when they're going to show up, and I want to be hammered by the time we get this thing started. Like, I wouldn't mind
blowing
getting...
the kazoo.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind getting a, nice little glow going while we're doing this here tonight, but I didn't want to be like...
It all helps loosen up a little bit.
It does, for sure. But,
Well-
I've also listened back to a couple where it's like, whoa,
Well,
what happened there?
I'm nervous about the third installment of Deer Camp.
Third
I
installment.
think
I'm
that's the
gonna-
one I
Yep.
missed.
Folks, I'm going to apologize if I say a couple things that might be a little
Weird.
weird, offensive. That's not really how I truly feel.
You know what's
Yep.
crazy is the
The
way that
alcohol
lined
talking.
up. The way that lined up, I'm gonna drop. Well, I think I'll probably drop this one as 100, and the Deer Camp one is like 100.5, 100 and a half.
That was the one I left for. To
We're
go to
gonna
my
do
uncle's,
it-
right?
Yeah.
Jeez, you got all jacked up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a problem.
Wow.
Was everybody in kind of
Everybody's
around
pretty
and
lit.
coming and going? Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
I'm crazy that we pulled that off. That I actually got people to like sit down.
I
and,
remember
like,
leaving
'cause
right
it was
before
like-
you were trying to get guys going on that. And me and John were like, oh, we got to get going. We're like,
That's
"Oh."
right.
Yep.
You guys did just leave.
We started
Yep.
cracking into the high octane beers that
Oh,
Yeah.
I figured you did.
Brought out the Woodford.
That was such an
Yeah,
amazing
we
deer
were
camp.
passing around a bottle of Woodford, weren't we?
Nice.
Woodford, that coffee rum I made up.
Oh my gosh.
had
That was an amazing deer camp. Probably the
CBS.
best one I've ever been to, I would say.
was
Probably the
fun.
best deer. I had so much fun up there.
So I think that'll be the two-part. I think I'm going to do a two-part, for 100,
Mm-hmm.
100 and 100 and a half, and I'll make that one our 100 and a half because it just seems good for us.
Well, it's a good representation of what deer camp is up there.
Oh,
I feel like it was crazy that it worked out that way.
Right.
That on the 100th episode
Just
we have like the. Well, I don't know if we did that. Was it the opening night or the night after
That was
opener?
opening night.
open.
It was
No, it was a
the
16th.
day
The day I
after.
shot my deer.
That was
was
the
the
day
day
after. 'Cause
after.
we recorded
Yep.
another one on
what?
opening
Yep.
night, the eve.
No.
Oh, yeah,
Eve.
yeah, you're right.
Yep.
Did we do one on the eve and then one on the day?
We
We
didn't
did
do
one
one
We
on
did
the
one
day.
on the eve and then one.
On the day and then one the day after?
14th and the 16th we did one.
Okay, so I was on the eve one and then I had left right before the one on
You
the day
bet.
after.
You bet.
Yep.
You nailed it.
There you go.
Yeah, because you left Saturday, and that was the day we did
Yep.
it.
Had a Travers.
Or no, Friday. You left.
Friday.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah. It was a while.
It was
Wild
pretty
good
rad
time.
up there in
That
Traverse
was-
City area.
The best deer camp ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I agree. I had so much fun, and I did hunt one spot I've hunted before, right by it, but other than that, I was hunting all spots I've never hunted before. You know, you sent me pretty far out there.
I feel bad about that.
That was my opening morning, and I guess I halfway didn't pay attention to the advice you gave me, and the other half, it's just it was insanity to get out there, and I was completely drenched in sweat and then frozen from the outside from snow when I got out there, and it just
a
didn't
block
work.
of ice.
It didn't work out. My morning didn't work out that good. My afternoon was better, definitely.
Yeah.
But the day after is when I saw that it was a 6-point or 5-point. It might have been the one Tommaso shot
Right.
that morning
Right.
that I had a.
Yeah.
I saw him for a second. And
You
then
got
he was-
winded.
I got winded, and he was out before I could do anything. It
Yeah.
was so close. It was so close a range that I couldn't do anything. If it was farther, I probably would have had a better chance. But he was 40 yards, and right there. And
Yeah.
when he snuck out, he was gone. He was in. I saw him, and he was gone. I saw him. You know, that was it.
I thought with a gun that you would be able to I knew the wind was going to be wrong for that spot, but
If I'd been on the other side,
I
of 'em,
thought
but-
you'd be able to see a deer either way before they got your wind.
Mhm.
But I mean, for bow hunting, it was definitely the wrong wind.
Yes.
But I thought for with a gun,
right.
you're going to see them before they're going to get to your wind.
And I
but
could
we
peg 'em out.
definitely should revisit that spot. And
It's a great spot.
Figure out how to hunt it on a north phase, west phase wind.
Twice I've
Because
hunted
you would,
there.
if you were on a north or a west phase wind,
Mhm.
hunting that spot, you would have killed that deer. I'm pretty confident.
Well, twice sitting there, I've seen bucks. And one time sitting there, I didn't know I was actually off the property line, and I could have shot him because it would have been legal. Because in the property line, there's different APRs. But I could have shot that one 3 times. He came chasing a doe 2 years ago. It was a 4-point.
That's what mine did.
But I actually I had my lone wolf up. He ran by. I didn't like my tree. I climbed down. I got halfway up in the tree. He came by again, and I sat down, and I pointed my gun at him, and he ran by. I took it down again, and then I put up 2 foot up off another tree, and he came by again, probably 10 yards from me with that doe stopping, and I could have shot him, but I thought I was on the property, so I didn't shoot him. And I didn't have a doe tag, so this time what happened was that blizzard came through that morning. I didn't realize where I was at, where you walked me to.
That was crazy, right?
And it was
That was
after
a
that-
beautiful morning.
before the
That was
blizzard
the
came
morning
in?
you shot your deer,
Dude,
right?
that was
Yes.
gorgeous.
So we're talking
It
the
was
day
November
after opening,
16th.
yes.
November 16th.
What happened was, first thing in the morning, I was super comfortable, and it was real quiet, snow on the ground. I wasn't cold at all. It was very calm, and I was like, "This is a great morning." Then the blizzard came through, and everything got covered with almost an inch and a half of real soft snow. You couldn't even see my wild edge steps going down the tree. My gun was covered, my backpack was covered, and what it actually did was all the trees and branches and bushes, it stacked up snow, and it made them fatter. So, you could see far with the
Right.
white snow with the backdrop,
Right.
but it fluffed everything up so white, so you couldn't actually
I
see
know.
as much.
Yeah, a
couldn't
branch
see
that
that.
was
Yeah,
1 inch in diameter is
3
now
inches.
4 or 5.
Oh, yeah, or
Oh,
something
yeah.
like that. Yeah, so it actually blocked. So when that buck came out, I had my gun hanging next to me. I'm sitting in my saddle, and he stepped out at 40 yards because I had hit some doe bleats. That's what he came into. Came at 40 yards, neck stretched out, stepped out behind a group of trees, and they stopped. And I had time. I pulled my gun up. I'm like, this is it. Pop my caps off my gun. I throw it up. I roll my scope back to 3 because I had it on a little bit farther, like maybe 5 power. He was close. I rolled it back to 3. I'm sitting there. I'm like, where is he? And all I saw was a brown little flash scooting off the other way, and I knew my wind. I already threw some milkweed out, and my wind was going right that way earlier that morning. But I figured I'd have enough time to shoot him.
Right.
But it was a brown flash, not running, but he scooted right out. He definitely got a solid wind. I mean, he was gone. And actually, after that hunt, when I tore down, I went and I hit his tracks, big wood buck style, and I
We
followed.
saw. We were because when we hiked out,
Yep.
we hiked out past you, and we're like, "What the fuck was he doing?" Like, what was
I followed that buck's tracks for probably
we had no idea
Yeah.
where your boots were going this way and that way. We're like, I don't know. There's no blood, so we'll see him when we see him.
Yeah, no, I followed him, and I followed it for 800-900 yards, and it kind of went by camp. And again, I think it was heading off property across the road, and that's why I thought maybe it was the one Tommaso shot because he was across the road.
Very well could have.
But I cut my way back towards camp. And by then it was like 11:30, 12. I wanted to come back into camp that day because I was out all day the day before, and so that was my one opportunity of a legal buck up north.
that was a nice buck
for-
too, huh?
It like I said, it looked very similar to Tommaso's, which would have been like a 6-point, with a darker rack,
Nice
a
chocolate
decent,
horn.
yeah,
Yeah.
kind of out like something like that, but maybe a little bit heavier, but it is a 6-point.
I thought it was a pretty deer.
He was a nice
Yeah.
buck. I thought Tommaso's was very, very nice.
No, I thought it was.
But so that was my up north hunting experience.
I think his buck had the biggest rack.
His was the youngest one, or
Oh, it was,
year and a half. He said.
man, I just have such a hard time believing that
Yours was-
was.
no. His was 2.5.
Oh, was yours year and a half?
No, both his and mine were
No, his was a year and a half. Yours was 2.5.
really.
Yeah.
Well, his had
The night he
substantially larger rack than mine, but mine dwarfed
Had a little
him
bit
body size.
body
on
Oh,
mine.
size, yeah, body size. Your had a smaller body though, and they said
Oh,
yours
yeah.
is 3.5. That's
yeah, yours
crazy.
right was real small. How much
That is
did it
just
weigh dressed
crazy.
out?
Dressed out was 83 pounds. delicious 83 pounds.
Yeah, just insane.
I think his buck was
He was touched.
it's a special buck. It was mommy's favorite buck.
Yeah, he helped mom.
No, man, I'm telling
I
you.
don't want to get this.
Dude, I'm telling
Yeah.
you, the little fucker
I'm
was.
pretty sure the other bucks in the neighborhood were like, we should probably stomp him in the
No,
head
man,
and do
he
him
was
a
a brain-
favor. You know?
Oh
Dude.
my gosh, that's horrible.
He was.
but the you know the mom was like,
Where did that
no,
come
he's
from?
got a strong
Dude.
will, and
No, Buckles
very
was.
artistic.
because I feel like the way you were talking about him running around and shit, you know, he might have just been like,
He's
a little
goofy.
bit
No.
like-
He was a
yeah.
little goofy.
Dude, I'm convinced Buckles was the fucking brains of the operation. All the rest were momos. They were the strong arms out there.
You think so?
He just sit back, did all the paperwork, never lifted a finger.
That's why he didn't build any muscle.
Nope, just
That's why he
jock-
weighed 83 pounds.
He was the buck foreman.
Jacked a couple bitches when need to, but all the guys are out there doing the muscle work.
Right
All right.
now. Dude, he was a sweet buck. I was just but your buck was 3.5 and weighed
3 pounds.
Yeah.
83 pounds.
That,
fuck's
for,
sake.
for your
I know.
first for a first buck taken
But that's
with a
big
gun,
woods.
That
I
was
think that's-
I think it couldn't have gone really the story how it all went down, the deer you got, it was
Dude, it was
perfect.
Oh, yeah, so much fun. Like,
I don't mind dragging an 83-pound buck out of the woods neither.
No, they're an easy
That doesn't
drag.
sound
yeah, that's
too
what
bad.
people underestimate. They're talking about all these big deer.
Or
Yeah,
butchering
try
one.
dragging them in from the woods.
Drag that thing a mile.
Right, you shoot
through the
280
woods.
pounds, take 2 trips, and it's a little easier even,
Right.
83 pounds sounds real nice.
Dude, when he walked out, I pulled the rifle up, and I thought it was a doe, and I pulled the rifle up. I'm like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
There's some antlers on there. All right, well, travel well. Full cock. Dude, yeah, there was a plus. Get a couple little Euro wall hanger.
I think it's cool the way you got him too, like that you saw him a couple times,
Yeah.
like navigating through, and
And
you
then he
kind of
came
like
back again.
you're
You
like
had opportunity.
ooh,
It's
like
2 shot. It was your second.
you get that
opportunity.
elevated heartbeat. You're like, all right, this there's deer in the area,
Right.
Like you get feel good about it. And
I was ranging shit off, with first light. I was looking around. I'm like, all right, cool. That bush there, that's 25 yards. That tree over there is 50, and there goes the ass of a buck at 100.
And you
Or
were
at
going
a
hunt
deer.
with a gun you've ever hunted with before. This is a brand new. You never even shot this gun before in
No.
your life. You've never shot it.
No.
Yeah.
Did I tell that story on?
Like, here you go. Here's a gun.
people will hear that story in detail right after they hear,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so we'll save it because they'll
Yeah.
get to hear the full story of your buck on the next podcast.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I just trusted. I remember Meekoff saying that
Gosh,
rifle's
that's true.
killed a lot of deer. So I
Well,
felt.
it's killed one more.
yeah.
Borrowed rifle, first buck, just killed him right dead, son of a bitch.
Dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just put the wallop on him, didn't you?
Dude, the little 44 mag is
You
badass.
weren't even letting him get away, huh?
Fuck no, dude. No, man. He was not getting away. He was trying.
How many rounds you put in him?
I probably popped off 3 shots through a single shot rifle that didn't eject the shell. Probably less than, I don't know, 15 seconds.
3 times. Did you hit him 3 times?
Dude, I quiglied his ass.
3 times?
No, I only hit him twice.
Okay. First time and a third time.
First and third.
Yeah, that's what when I hit my buck, I shot him 3 times and he was on the run. But when he did the drunk walk, did yours do the drunk walk a little bit and then you hit him with
Dude,
the third one?
The first shot, he dropped like someone just flipped the switch.
Right.
And then he spun around and started crawling.
Crawling away.
He was parring for his
Dude,
life.
he was parring.
He was parring away, trying to par away.
He's kind of like getting like he's trying to get back up. And I'm like, no, this has happened. I'm tired of getting fucked throughout my life.
You're not getting away. You
Yep.
son of a bitch.
I got 99 problems. This deer's not one.
No.
Yeah. No, I mean, well, what I was told by a
What-
wise deer hunter was you shoot till the deer is dead or you're out of ammo. So you followed right along with those footsteps.
I mean, if
Well-
you saw clearly in real time that you and like you just said, but I hear you what you're saying.
You
If
plug
that thing is still moving and it looks like there's any percentage of a chance that deer is not dead,
Yeah.
don't
keep on
risk
shooting.
it.
Yeah.
Don't
Well,
risk
Let
it.
her rip.
That's what the ammo is for. It is for shooting.
Best thing is like Jason Hampton, rifle goes, all right, all I got is 7 rounds. Here you go. I'm like, I should only take 1.
Yeah. You're going to get everything I got. And I emptied my gun at a deer and it walked away from me before my hunting career.
I did something different. I remember you, Drew. I did something a little different this time. I wasn't waiting for the perfect broadside shot for them to come out, spray paint a little dot on them, and say, I surrender. 'Cause,
No, you put it on him and you pull the trigger.
That's what I've been waiting for all this time. And he came out and there's a little bit of scrubby brushing away. I'm like,
Nope.
nope.
Scrubby brush ain't gonna.
Dude, I remember you saying that shit to me when I was waiting for the best shot last year when that doe stared me down. I could have smoked her through the brush.
Yeah.
And you're like, dude, just fucking blouch her.
Just let it rip.
That bullet would maybe move a quarter of an inch because it hit a branch at that
Right.
distance.
Yeah.
And now if you're shooting, you got a bush right in front of you, and the deer's
No,
at
that's
100
good
yards.
deer hunting advice because I feel like a lot of times everybody's always saying like,
If the deer is right in the thing,
wait
shoot it.
until they stop and then
No.
do the mark jury and whistle at them so they look at you over their shoulder and stand there all pretty for 30 seconds before you pull the trigger. No, dude, this is real life deer hunting.
Right.
If it's there and you have the opportunity, kill the thing.
I've done this before. I don't know if you guys have, but I've shot at deer where they're standing and shit, and you could see their head. And I just took their head and I followed it right down to where their
No,
body
I've
was,
never
and I
done
shot
that.
it.
No, I didn't
I've
do
done
that.
that. I've done that. Well, you know what I mean? But they were like
Should
60
be
yards
right
away.
about there.
No, I mean, I'm not saying that all you
you-
see is the deer's head, but, like,
You heard about that guy
getting?
getting shot at with the deer head on his backpack, right? This year?
No, I'm telling you, it wasn't like that. That
Yeah,
accident wouldn't have happened in that situation.
That's
The dumbass have orange on it at all?
that's pretty negligent.
Yeah.
He still had orange?
You're talking about physically watching
Yeah,
them.
no, there's no, I could guarantee, I could put my hand up in the air and swear an oath, I would never accidentally shoot a person when I'm out hunting.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
not going to
glad
happen.
that you've reassured me of
Yeah,
that because
no.
I was getting worried. But no,
Yeah.
I know. Well,
You
that's
guys
not-
haven't caught nothing.
No.
So that just happened. I mean, somebody got killed. Will actually, Potoff just texted me last night asking if we had talked about that on the podcast. You know, a guy got killed
Yes.
Yeah.
on
Yes,
public land.
I
Where
open-
at? You want to look it up real quick?
Yeah.
Wasn't it here?
Yep.
It was very close
Yeah,
to here.
the guy was of Asian descent, I think.
Yep, and
And,
he of Asian descent. He was an Asian.
Yeah.
He was a hunter out
Is that-
there
is
hunting
that
on
improper?
opening day.
Yeah, and
on public land,
he might have caught a stray, and they say there's been no
right?
people, but that he might have caught a stray, and that guy may have no idea. There's a lot of dicky mows out there. There's a lot of
Firing
dicky
away.
mows.
How much of a stupid fuck do you have to be to not see a blob of blaze
Well, you
orange?
could
Well,
be,
to know exactly
you could
where your
be an
bullet's gonna end
alcoholic.
at.
You could be out there drunker than a skunk. We've seen that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh yeah.
I'm not saying we definitely avoid that, but we know that shit goes on. We've seen it firsthand.
Antrim County. I believe that's how you say it.
Atrium.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sad.
Okay.
November. I can't remember. This article's from the 16th. I don't know if it was opening day or it happened on the 16th.
I think it was the day after.
Oh, this is a different one.
What? More than one?
Oh fuck. Talking about how I'm loving all these deer hunters around here. Maybe I need to
Hey.
shut my mouth. I know it doesn't seem like hunters' recruitment problems around here. You know.
No. You hear that shit, it's like, well, I don't know where you're hunting. I see plenty of orange in the
No.
woods. It's
They did say
crazy.
they thought nationally. I'm just repeating
Oh.
something I heard that the average license purchaser was 55 years old.
Really? I would believe that.
I think that's only whitetail though.
Yeah,
don't
I
think
mean,
it's
I think
hunting
our
license.
camp's kind of an oddity where we have a young group of, like a second generation coming and breathing fire back into camp.
Yeah.
Most of those guys, our camps, we're the second tier, you know. Their guys are in their 60s now that started it, and we're
Right.
all their kids coming in carrying the flag.
Fuck
But
yeah, we
I
are.
mean, when you're sitting up there, you know, Ryan and I went to the bar the one night when we were hunting it by my place there, and we're sitting in the bar. We're probably the youngest guys in the bar wearing
yeah.
deer hunting stuff.
You probably want to let her back out because my wife is gonna open the door and call for her, and then she's not. Yeah, no, that's cool. What's up, Kaz girl?
Get out of here!
It's just kind of cool to see. I mean, remember growing up or hunting in Michigan was basically.
Hey, would you grab me
Wow.
the ice tray out of the freezer there, bud?
It's kind of cool using more tactics and taking a more aggressive
So we never
approach.
we never found that article, but yeah, a guy got shot, and it sounds like multiple guys got
There's
shot.
two. Yeah, it was
At least two.
Northern Lower.
But that guy got killed. He had 9 kids.
Fuck. That's horrible.
What, having 9 kids?
He jumped in front of the bullet.
No.
Yeah.
But they still haven't found the guy that did it. Nobody's fessed up to that. This one is
That's
38-year-old hunter shot and killed by another hunter in Northern Lower Peninsula on Thursday. Justin Butel of Sanford, Michigan was hunting in Helena Township about 20 miles northeast of Traverse City when he was shot by a 45-year-old Gaylord man on opening day of firearm deer hunting season.
Son of a bitch. Careful out there.
Yup. But
Get shot. Fuck's sake.
God,
That's
dude,
another reason why I like hunting from a tree stand, huh?
It's just horrible. It's horrible.
I don't want to be on the ground.
It is brutal.
Because, you know, you're not. It's not very likely that you're going to get shot by a tree stand hunter. And if you're in a tree,
You're shooting down.
there's
at
no
the
deer
ground.
in the trees. You're safe. But yeah, if you're on the ground, man.
I like the idea
Catch
of
a-
shooting down.
I've
with
had that happen
projectiles.
where I'm sitting out there and all of a sudden you hear boom, and it's like your ears are ringing. You're like, what the fuck? You know, that guy was like 40 yards behind you pointing in your direction or something. You're like,
My
Well,
dad's
luckily I
had
haven't
poachers.
Had that.
you haven't had that happen, huh?
My dad's had poachers hunting out in Avoca, sitting in a natural ground blind, getting ready to shoot a deer, and a dude hauled off 3 shots right in a row, right next to him. Wasn't even wearing any blaze orange or anything. And
Well, yeah, he's
My-
poaching.
yeah, my dad started screaming. The dude just got up and started running towards the road.
You'd be the worst poacher ever.
To wear orange.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So okay.
Well, I had that happen 5 miles from my house, hunting on my uncle's property. You know, I'm thinking of deers. I'm sitting in there in the tree line. You know, I'm thinking of deer. I hear crunch, crunch, crunch. You know, just right at before end of shooting hours, thinking a deer's about to walk out, and you know this is gonna happen. And some dude walked out, just trespassing the shit out of the place, just walking around. I was like, "Thanks, buddy."
I caught a trespasser. I was actually pretty young. I was probably only 14 years old, hunting out at the farm, and some guy with a climber just come burning through.
Really?
Yeah.
I yelled at some old lady with a Kroger bag full of mushrooms before out in that woods,
Yeah.
sitting in my tree stand.
Yeah.
Hour before dark, I just hear ch, ch. You just see this old white-haired lady coming through the woods with a bag full of mushrooms. It's like, what the hell are you doing out here?
Dude,
She's like, I've been coming here for
You know, the
years."
neighbor told
Well,
me.
stop coming here. You're trespassing.
we're down here.
At the farm.
Yeah,
the
I remember
farm?
hearing about that.
I talked to the neighbor to the south, the guy that lives on Morrow Road.
Mm-hmm.
Probably should. Don't matter. There's no fucking deer there. Good luck for you if you find it. He said in September he had a guy on his trail camera just walking through, nothing in his hands, 2 a.m. in the morning, out in the
Really?
middle of the woods.
Just a little
drunk.
freaky.
Just
Yeah,
drunk.
right.
That
Just
is
drunk,
weird.
Come on.
running from the
Doing a
cops.
bear walk. Yeah.
But yeah, I thought, my first thing was, it's probably a raccoon hunter or something.
No gun,
How do you say it? Raccoon?
Raccoon.
Raccoon.
Raccoon?
Raccoon.
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 Yeah.
That's how
Parring.
Dan says it.
Raccoon.
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 Battling a 30-pound raccoon.
Oh, this voicemail is awesome.
God. Yeah, it's one of the more special things.
I
that
like
he
how you
does.
always use that as the
He
intro
says,
to your podcast.
He
with
says that he's taken there's been a fair amount of battles had over that podcast because the company he works for has business calls come to that phone and stuff, you know. So he said it's been a hot topic at some points, but that's
it's
his voice.
the work provides it.
I don't know.
People just have to have a sense of humor.
Yeah,
That's pretty funny.
raccoon.
Oh
Dan.
man.
Dan is
Son
a
of a bitch.
he's a rad guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's one of the raddest. That's it.
What were we?
Trespassing?
Yeah, we were put something before. Oh, the guy getting shot on the public
yeah.
land. I don't know how we got there though.
I don't know. This thing's been going every which
Dude,
direction.
it's dangerous out there. It can be dangerous out there. Wear your harness. We knew my buddy that died this year. You can catch a bullet. Wear orange. Sometimes it doesn't matter.
safer.
You could do everything right and stuff can happen to you. But I mean, it's important to wear orange and try to know about your surroundings a bit. You know.
Oh yeah, and just have something. Have
And
your
hunting,
phone on
honestly,
ya.
hunting from a tree, I think, is safer in a way if you use the proper safety precautions. You know, 'cause especially up north when it's rifle zone and those bullets can, a 308
I don't know if
on a
I'd
plane
say,
could follow way farther.
I wouldn't say it's safer.
Fucking
More people fall out of tree stands than get shot every year.
a rifle
I would-
bullet.
Well, that's because there's a lot. You'd be surprised. A lot of people that don't use a harness.
You'd be surprised.
Right, but I wouldn't say that
Northern Michigan.
hunting out of a tree stand is safer.
I said if you follow the proper safety precautions.
I guess.
Okay, here you go.
Damn, I'm gonna be reduced to gin here shortly. I've been
Drink it, you old man.
I'm gonna come by here and
Nah,
drop off
we're-
some 6-packs to you, man.
kind of had to make some sacrifices here.
You're all
recently.
military liquor now.
So I've been just
Plowing
Not-
through the
not
yard.
going to the beer store, right? And this is one of the last bottles of whiskey from my wedding like 6 years ago. And after this, I'm pretty much down to what people left here when we have parties. I do have a sweet little bottle of tequila,
At least he's dressed for the winter weather.
but it's not really like tequila season. You know what I mean? That's kind of a problem. But
There's a bottle of
I
water.
got a bottle of gin.
down here.
Big
If you're
watermelon
feeling
pucker.
sassy.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
We'll pull that.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't had pucker since like 10th grade.
Little bit of
like,
pucker.
Looks like that one's got plenty of like slime
want-
in it.
You want me to make you a melon Rita? So, did you cook anything up yet with?
So I did two
I got a
things so
couple.
far with my buck.
Uh huh.
You know, that's something we could cover. Are you guys getting chili? Should we throw a couple logs on that fire? Or?
I'll get her.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah. I feel like it's kind of starting to.
Yeah, I put my Shalong Johns on before I came over here.
Long Johns.
Yeah, that guy gets cold,
Dude.
man. Dangling on my pant leg.
Gunner. Gunner was like watching TV with my mom over at my parents' house,
Uh-huh.
and he's shoving his hands down his pants. And like, my mom's like,
Coming
there,
of age.
You know, is there a problem? What are you feel okay? Is there a problem? Get your hands
Down
out of your
there?
pants, you know. And he said that his pee-pee is growing like Pinocchio's nose.
You know what my son said the other day in the bathtub? Mama, I love my penis. This is a good age for them to be at.
Yeah, you don't even know how much you're gonna love it.
Oh,
Oh,
my
man.
gosh.
Love it and hate it at the same damn time.
Yep.
It's a battle.
It's a love-hate relationship.
He's not gonna like sweatpants
They're
anymore.
they're so high maintenance, you know.
God, they are hard. Yeah,
What
don't
dicks?
can't ignore them.
No. It's tough, man. They're nagging.
Teach him the waistband trick.
Needs,
Oh my
needs.
gosh. Needs.
I think he's a ways from the waistband trick,
Yeah,
but
it's all about feelings with that guy.
I don't know that you need to teach the waistband trick. That's almost like one of those just genetic things that you're like.
It's
you
an
figure it-
evolution thing. It's an evolution. A straight survival.
Hey.
Survival.
Survival.
Can you hand me a pop?
Better tuck that thing into your waistband.
boy, what do we got going on here, guys?
It is an annoyance.
Thanks, buddy.
It is.
Yeah.
It's funny where this podcast will go sometimes.
Rent a cottage with a group of friends for the
Aw.
weekend. Get up in the morning, have coffee. You're like, son of a bitch.
Waistband.
Can't let
Dude.
this be happening.
Hey, yo, waistband, bro. Come on.
Remember, I got to a certain age where I stopped tucking my shirts in.
Oh my gosh. Is everybody good now?
Good.
Was it getting pretty low in there, huh?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Just need a couple logs, huh? Fire up. What is today?
Today is the December
December
5th.
5th.
December 5th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Cinco.
Well,
Plead the 5th.
low 20s out?
It
Snowing?
was 33 when I was driving over.
It's been a cold fall.
I think
can
the
say
low
it's been
tonight
a cold
was-
fall.
No, not really.
I think it's been an unseasonably cold fall.
You don't think so?
It's been a wet and dog shitty fall.
I think it's been cold. We got some cold weather.
It definitely had cold up north. Down here, it's been hit
been
and miss.
cold.
It seems kind of normal. It's just been fucking
Yeah.
wet as shit.
Well, we did get a long wet stretch, but then like as of recent,
That's all we can ask for.
the long wet stretch.
Fuck, I go for one of them.
Yeah.
What are you
What'd
going
I do for that?
What are you going through my laundry?
Yeah.
What I'd pay.
Oh boy.
Enjoy being fucking 6, you know, or 3 years old, whatever, because it doesn't get any easier.
No.
No,
You know,
it does not.
demanding.
Well, so
Mm-hmm.
huh.
Yeah.
What are we doing the rest of the season?
Yeah, we spent coming off of your camp here, huh?
We just
um,
exactly we got an hour into this thing.
Well, you know what's? We all came home, and I had like another week at your camp here. You know.
Yeah.
by yourself, pretty
Well,
much.
Shannon and Gunner went to Seattle
I
for a
know.
week.
That's been crazy
Dude,
for
Now
you.
I'm
You should schedule that every year.
in between jobs. And
People could see those quotations.
I'm like,
What was in your briefcase, sir? Mostly papers, work papers, papers. What do you do? I'm unemployed.
full-time deer hunter, huh?
Professional.
I had a lot going on.
It's been rough. It hasn't been easy hunting since you
But-
came back.
I'm like, this is like a blip in time that's never going to exist again.
Right.
No, dude, capitalize on that
And
shit.
with selling the house,
Is it?
the house is sold.
Oh, it is.
We're waiting on a
That's
clear
news.
to close, but this very well could be.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
The 100th.
It'll be sad leaving the podcast studio. It's going to be.
Yeah, it's going to
It's
be
gonna be a little
interesting. It's going to be a
bittersweet.
little road trip because we're going to have a temporary studio, and then but
We're
what's
going
going
to
to
do one like right very last podcast from the studio.
This could be it.
Wow.
We could be out of here by December 24th if everything's on track.
Wow.
Christmas Eve kicking you out of the property.
Yeah.
Yep.
Beat it, kid.
Get out of here. Go on and get.
Scrooge.
Ho, ho, ho.
Just gonna shoot you out with
You'll
Tiny
shoot your
Tim's
eye out.
cane.
Right?
Throwing your Christmas tree right out the front door.
Yeah, just lighting it on fire on the front lawn.
Stomp on
Get
it.
your ass on the street, Bob. Scratch it.
Wow. Wow. That's
I know, not the best timing, but
That's how you.
not ideal timing.
It's about get her done, right?
Right. So, but yeah,
Congrats.
we'll have a temporary recording facility, and we'll probably go on the road a little more. You know.
Should get that Airstream down here and just start doing them in there.
But then, what will eventually this will lead into is have an actual studio.
Whoa, that's heavy, man.
We'll have
Like mattresses on the wall and shit.
a little better.
Yeah, stained mattresses on the wall and ceiling.
we gotta go collect them all off estate land.
Is it part of our 2%?
Yeah, that's us giving back.
Yeah,
Our
charitable
podcast
donations.
studio.
That'd be
Hang
awesome.
mattresses we find
All
in the
junk
ditches
we
on public land. as sound barriers.
Sure, if we collect.
So how'd you get AIDS again?
Oh my god.
So I'm on this podcast.
Who brought crabs to the party?
Little did I know that it was communicable, and they had a fan blowing.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, that's crazy.
but eventually, what will happen is that we'll have like a actual studio
Just take
and
a
a
picture
little better
tonight.
facility, and
Yeah.
we need a smaller house.
You do have a large house.
Yeah, and we don't want that.
I don't blame you. I just
we
need
don't
a big
use
enough house.
we don't use a third of our
I
house.
could use
you know?
your house.
But I mean, it's just we caught it at the right end of the market. It was the right buy. It was great for here now,
And
and then
now it's a good time to sell.
and now it's great. It's good. I don't want to jinx anything, but it was a good time to sell. And we knew we didn't want to be in this house for forever.
Yeah.
We knew that
Not forever,
basically
ever.
when we bought it. But it does suck to sell your first house. It's definitely emotional. Like, going through there and we're not moving right into a new house.
You're going
So
limbo.
you don't
You're
have
going
like
limbo.
you don't
Old
have the
pattern, yeah.
excitement of the new house to like
Right.
suck up the
But it's nice not being tied down to selling something to buy something. That I've been
Oh,
through that
man.
now, and
That was
it's very
stressful.
difficult. It's very difficult.
I went bald over that.
Yeah, it's a tough deal, man. So good for you.
and Shannon is too. We're both excited. Like,
Oh, the next chapter.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've always been movers.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. A little bit of our personality.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Move up north.
we've been here for 5 years.
Yeah.
No, we probably won't move up north.
That'd be awesome. I'd love to do that.
But regardless, so the house is should be everything's good. House should
By
be
the close of the year.
So yeah, that
Crazy.
has kept me busy too. Obviously,
Wow, you got a lot of stuff going on right now, dude.
but when they were gone, I deer hunted every day. I'd get up at 4 in the morning, do a couple things, go deer hunting, come home, have lunch, take care of the pets. My wife, when she left, she's like, just take care of the pets.
wow,
you know,
that's a nice.
it's all
that's
she
a
asked
nice.
of me.
That's a nice wife.
Just take care of the pets. Take care of Kazzy. Take care of the cats.
Set a low pull for me.
I'm like,
Keep
I
them
got-
alive.
I got you.
Just take
Got
the
you.
Nailed it.
I got you.
take-
Shit, I even clean their litter boxes. So that's
cut the top of the dog food bag off, roll it down, and there you go.
Oh my
Salad
gosh.
bowl of water, run a hose to it, crack it halfway, let it drip a little bit. Self-sustained.
we were good. But yeah, I had like a whole nother week, kind of like deer camp. I had like my whole
Kevin
schedule.
Camp.
Come home.
How many days have you hunted this season, do you think?
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of curious about all you guys, how many days
Well, I didn't hunt a whole lot early season because the film thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we were hunting up north, and then I wasn't really hunting down
You
here.
spent a lot of time scouting.
Spent a lot of time scouting.
Yeah.
How many days did I hunt?
Yeah, how many times you hunt?
Shit, dude, I couldn't tell you. I'd have to sit down and actually think about that.
But if you
know?
had to pull off a number off your head.
Days or
couple
hunts?
weekends in October.
Sits.
Sits, or are you talking days or sits?
Okay, we can talk sits. Talk sits. But it's a little easier because a lot of times you don't get to hunt all day. You get one or the other, especially
Right.
having a
Oh,
job
down
and
here,
working.
never get to hunt all day because my wife would be like, "What the?
I probably have
What are you
25.
doing? You know what I mean? It's 11 o'clock. Why aren't you back here?"
I've probably done 25 sits.
Damn.
Sits.
Yeah, I'd say I'm right about there.
Mm.
Low 20s.
Yeah. I'd say 25 max probably.
Yeah.
I would guess I'm probably 50.
Yeah.
2.
I thought that you were I definitely thought you had some more time out in the field than we did.
I would think probably 50.
Mm-hmm.
I had,
Sits.
I would think so.
Yeah.
So 25 days, and we had about maybe 10 days.
If I wasn't working so much, probably a few more.
It's tough, man. And there's a lot of people that listen. Everybody understands.
Oh,
Most
yeah.
people, they got to work for a living, man.
Yeah, I'd like
and they
to-
got
Well,
family, especially if you got a family, man. That's really tough.
99.999% of the people that listen to this podcast probably have
Well, it's
jobs and
families,
stuff
yeah.
that they can't
Well, I
get out.
saw
Families
Mark
is a
Kenyon
bigger
posted a thing, about being kind of burnt out and needing to take a break. And some guy was on there, was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" He's like, "All I want to do is go hunting, and I'm at work."
Right?
I hate you, Mark Kenyon. I just deleted your podcast.
That definitely is something that always and I could see the guys that hunt all year,
Right.
Well, some
how
guys
they
are away
can
from their
say
families
that,
a long time.
but
He's
it's
away
like,
from his family
man,
a lot.
you're taking something for granted if you can honestly type that sentence
It's a
out and
two-si-
think it's a good idea.
I think it's a
to send it.
two-sided coin because he spends a lot of time away from his family. There's a lot of guys that are on the road.
Right, but know your audience, who you're talking to.
Right.
Well, I mean, he
For sure.
could clarify. I think he's more relating what's going on with his life. But, I mean, obviously, everybody's got a different situation.
I'm
Our
just-
situation is totally different than Mark Kenyon's
I'm just
situation.
saying, of all the things to bitch about,
Well,
that should probably be really low.
yeah,
down.
no,
it
you-
gives a
you-
sour taste maybe in our
Like
mouth.
you said.
You asshole.
Know your audience. But
But
yeah,
he
I
picked his
totally
life.
get it. And
He picked the way he
especially
did his life.
when what you're doing now is your work.
Right.
It's not just your hobby.
That
and
is
fun
Mark's
thing.
work now.
Right, that's your work.
Yes.
So there's different things going on. You're hunting with cameramen. You need this. You need that. You got to do pre and post.
It's
and
a
this
job
and that.
for Mark.
It's
now.
draining.
So it turns into all of a sudden you're like, this thing that I just used to come off here and blow off some steam, I turn this into a job, and there's a lot that comes along with that. So from his viewpoint, I totally get that.
Mm-hmm.
Just in the limited experience that I've had this year with the film project, because it's yeah, we're out here to do our thing,
It's a
but
grind, though.
we also have a job to get done.
Mm-hmm.
But for the guy that's just getting after it, hobbyist deer hunter, and fucking stuck at work,
The stress
on
we have is getting
November 3rd, when a cold front comes through and you walk out of your house Tuesday morning, it's a crisp, hard frost, the beginning of November, and you got to get in your truck and go to work.
Yeah, I know.
I need to start calling into work more on those days.
That's
I
something
really
that
honestly
always
need
gets
to
me
do.
when you're listening to a lot of podcasts. They give you well, don't only hunt the perfect days. It's like, all right, so November 3rd's perfect. I'm going to call into work, and then November 4th, I can go look for a new job after they.
Well, you know what they say about the weather in Michigan too. So if you look at the forecast for 15 days,
Right.
now we're in Michigan and it's
No,
different.
You
know, so
never
can't-
know
you
until
can't-
2-3 days out.
That's what
Right,
I'm saying.
right.
So you can't even look at the 15-day forecast and be like, okay,
Right.
I'll
Nope.
call my work. I'm gonna schedule
It's
it.
a
Don't
real
give me any
gamble.
jobs.
Well,
for this
look at
day.
deer season last year is the perfect example.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Poured.
It just
It
was the fucking
horrible.
worst weather, and it's like, well, what do we do? This is when we do it every time of year. You don't know.
Dude,
You
it's
get what you
disheartening.
get. It's nicer when you can follow the weather on a day-to-day basis, but most people don't have that
Yeah,
flexibility in their life.
That's a pretty nice luxury to have.
Oh, it's huge. I'm hoping someday I'll have that and probably be called retirement.
Right. When I'll be sitting in my heated box pine because I
Yeah.
can't climb up that
Yeah.
tree anymore.
I don't know. Eberhardt's still hanging from a sling,
Yeah,
up in the
That's
tree.
what I want to be like, man. Just get
I'm
mad
hoping
at
to be in a good enough shape where I can still mobile hunt when I retire. I guess that's my one prayer.
I forgot what he did before he got into the hunting thing. What he was doing for
You know,
a
I
living.
think in a way, being in the trades,
That
it
man
wears
is-
on you. But in another way, being in the trades keeps you active and can allow you to do. You're gonna have the pain, but it'll physically allow you to do those things.
And I think
because we climb up things, it's like
your mind's more prepared to handle the pain because you do it every day anyways, going to work. So.
yeah. Here we are in almost the ripe old age of 40 here in a few years. I couldn't believe it. 36. I just turned 36, so I'm like next year 37. It's gonna start setting in like I'm getting close to 40.
You're
right now I
closer.
feel pretty good, but
Closer to 40 than 30.
age really is a relative number. You can get older, but getting old is a decision, I think. You know what I mean?
No. Getting old is just natural.
No, you're always getting older. It's what you decide as old is. You know what I mean?
Time
no, I
is
say there's
time.
older and there's old. I don't know. Maybe that's a little
I know
bit
what
too
you're
deep.
saying.
Right.
But, I don't know. At 30, I just don't feel old. I'm very immature. Oh, my gosh.
They put their wieners on the glass.
Did you use your waistband, Nick, or?
As uncoiled the other half out.
Nice. But yeah, anywho, so we got a plan on I've sighted my muzzleloader and I went bow hunting last weekend. It was great to be out the bow again, but now for the next 3 weekends I'm gonna have a muzzleloader in my hand and hopefully make it happen. I've got a doe tag still for public land down here.
Oh,
Do you? Anybody
I
have
do
a
not.
public land doe tag?
I do.
You do? You got your smoke pole. You better come with me with your saddle. We should do a saddle public land deal.
I'd like to.
Okay. I'll drag you out. With Derek too.
I'm going to take my dad this week.
Or obviously.
No,
more
just
than-
talk me right out of the equation.
Sorry, if you don't got
There's
doe
no-
tag, you ain't shit.
There's no bucks left in
I was
Southeast Michigan.
Trying to do a little
kinda feel like
Instagram
that.
story, and there's a watermelon pucker on the bar. Like, huh?
No, but I mean, we're me and you are the buckless Upers right now.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm really.
It's very reminiscent of last season.
Yes, it is. Wow. I think our recipes for tag soup are getting really good.
I'm prepared to eat it, though. I don't know. I put myself in a different mindset. I went into camp.
I am not gonna make myself feel bad about my deer season about not getting a deer. But I want one so bad.
Dude, if I hear any more stories about you guys passing on deer, I'm going to slap the shit out of you.
I
Yeah,
literally
it's a different
welled
deal,
up,
man.
I welled up in my eyes when I opened up my deep freeze and there was no back straps in there. Chris was like, "What do you want for your birthday?" I said, "I want back straps." Like, oh, we don't have any back straps. I got some roasts.
I unplugged my freezer. I don't even need the chest freezer.
I
going
do have
anymore.
some venison, but
I
I ate all my back straps. I threw them all out on the table at the beginning of the season. Me and Jason ate them in Ohio. All my
What?
tenderloins, all of them, we ate them all.
I got a couple recipes.
That's where we got lost.
Yeah,
you asked me what I
recipes.
did with my buck.
Yeah.
I don't know how the hell we.
Well, you start talking about tucking your wiener in your waistband.
I think that's the one that got us.
Yeah.
I thought that.
I got a good recipe for that one too, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was
Two
the- you
waistbands.
were handling.
I got one for
It was a two-waistbander.
two waistbander.
Yeah.
Had some spring
Yeah,
action
it's
to
fired
her.
up.
I got one.
bunch of action.
I got one for deer and one for turkey. I just experimented with.
Waistbands. Or
Oh, waistband? No, I don't. Even, I cut the
We should
waistband
clean
right
it
off.
up, guys.
I did two things with my buck so far.
Yeah.
I cooked a tenderloin.
I watched
And
that whole story. and
I don't know how the hell we
I wish I
got
could dislike your photos.
because
Jealous.
I wanted to kind of talk about what I did with my deer.
Yeah. Let's go through hanging, butchering, aging process. Just like a synopsis.
I shot my deer on Thursday morning, opening morning, November 15th.
See how our techniques vary.
I waited 11 days to butcher him. I read up on it,
Skin on.
skin on.
Okay.
Called and confirmed. That was a big question I had. Skin on, skin off.
Yep.
Skin on. You want to keep the air off of it. 'cause
Would it be
that's
different
gonna-
if we had a deep freezer, like a walk-in freezer? Would you want to skin off like they do at the butcher?
You don't
'Cause
want
they
a freezer.
skin cows.
You don't
and they
want
hang
a-
them. They don't
you-
leave the
You don't want
hair
it in
on.
a freezer.
No.
or steer.
You want it in
40
essentially
degrees.
refrigeration temperature,
That's what I'm saying. 40-degree temperature. I think, is
35, 40 degrees.
Yeah.
for 28
High-
days. I thought it
high
was 28
humidity.
days.
And
28
I
days
like
of 40
the
degrees.
fact that mine was kind of frozen when I brought it back here. It was like 28 up north. So, I'd never done that before. I wasn't comfortable taking any kind of chance that I was going to screw something up.
No.
But it was like in the high 20s at night and in the low 30s during the day, mid-30s, but it stays cold and dark in this garage.
Yeah.
Well, it's probably more of a doesn't dip as low or
It stays
get as
pretty
high.
yeah, right.
It kind of
More of a variable
average. Yeah.
variable temperature or average temperature in here. So 11 days, skin on. You could take the skin off, but what you're going to do is you're going to get a rind
Yep.
on the
I
meat.
heard that's good for it though. That's good bacteria.
It's more work though.
It
that you
doesn't
have to do
have
for
no. Yeah, you either gotta do something with that. Then
There's no benefit. You're saying.
No, you're gonna have to. You're gonna have to pretty much peel it. Not
You're
peel
gonna
it
have
off.
to
Yeah,
cut it
so I
off.
don't know
Slice
if it
and you
cures
gotta-
it better with that rind without the skin. That's
You
what I'm
want
saying.
the
The
skin.
benefit.
You want
So
the
you're saying
skin.
there's no benefit. It's easier to pull the skin off when the meat is warm.
You
when
want
you first get it than when it gets cold.
to
I believe.
protect.
And
You want to
sorry.
protect the meat from the air.
I agree. And that's
So
why
you
you use
leave the
those meat
hide on.
bags sometimes. Those,
So you-
talking about that when you put them in those.
Those are just for bugs only.
But I thought it would seal a little bit. It would let it breathe, but it also
no,
kinda
you're talking
seal it
about
off a little bit.
preserving meat out in the field.
Yeah.
You use those mesh bags because you need to get that meat dry. You don't want it real wet if you're in above refrigeration temperatures.
Okay.
Those meat bags are only necessary for guys that are going
Dries
to have
that layer out.
meat out in temperatures above refrigeration temperatures. You need to get that moisture away from that meat.
That's
Okay.
just so it can cool.
Yeah.
Keep
Gotcha.
air moving over it to cool it down.
Same thing. Yep.
But when
So-
it's cold, skin.
But
it.
when it's cold, you want to protect it from the air. I mean, if the thing's frozen, you could fucking let it hang for a year. But in refrigeration temperatures, they say 14 days. I went 11. I've never done it before. I didn't want to take a chance anything getting goofed up. Plus, it had been through some variable temperatures. It rolled around in the back of my truck for like 4 days, you know?
I've
but it
done
was-
it before.
But I was still confident and comfortable with what I was doing.
Yeah, you're good.
But I called a couple people just to verify. I reached out to a couple people online just to ask them, guys that had done it before, you know? And they said, oh, you're going to love it. You got perfect conditions, perfect scenario. So I let it hang for 11 days. Then I came in here and I butchered it. Wife and kid were gone.
Skinned it, butchered it.
Started it in the morning. Took me basically all day. I had something to do midday. Went, did all that, came back. I ended up being done out here by about 10:30 at night, you know. Skinned it.
With everything but grinding your meat.
Everything with grinding my meat. My grind meat is actually in a big trash bag. It was late. I was tired. I didn't have any 1 gallon Ziploc
You
bags.
can do it anytime, man.
So I just basically swept it all off the table, the whole big pile
Loose
of grind
meat,
meat that I had. I swept it into like one of those scentless trash bags and then doubled that up, pushed all the air out of it, spun it up, tied it into the freezer.
Right on.
And then I'll grind that stuff after season once there's not a bunch of shit going on, you know what I mean? But the way that thing came out, dude, I was just like, the whole time I was doing it too, like I said, I took a full day to do my deer from like 8:30 in the morning.
Did you leave it cold in here?
No, I started a fire.
Nice.
No, because your hands get cold as shit real quick. Like,
Dealing with the meat, yeah.
yeah, exactly. And, I mean,
It's probably 40, 45 in here anyways.
yeah, it gets 55, 60
Yeah.
in here if I get that wood stove going real good. But it was perfect.
Yeah.
I caught up on Meat Eater. I listened to a couple Meat Eater podcasts and then listened to a couple of Rogan. And just sat out here, took my time, cut that thing up all real perfect, trimmed everything out real nice. And then I packaged it all up that night too. The guys from the Down South Hunting Podcast, Mike Higman, he's got that website. It's like
Deals or something.
huntinggeardeals.com.
Yeah.
Mike made some freezer bags, and he sent me a couple to try out.
Mm-hmm.
They're awesome. And I know he's going to be running them on Amazon, and I'll get that information from him because that's what I used. And they were better than any freezer bags that I ever worked. As far as, you know how you have the bumps inside the freezer bag? That's so the bag doesn't collapse on itself
Keep air going.
and keep air at a vacuum at the bottom end of the bag.
Nice.
That's so the air can travel out. Even though you pull that bag down tight, the bumps inside the bag let the air travel through there. You know what I mean?
Do you vacuum seal or freezer paper?
I've done it a bunch of different ways now. I had those bags, so it was super convenient. I like doing like stew meat and tenderloins and some smaller roast cuts with the vacuum sealer, but I have no problem doing saran wrap.
Yeah.
Saran wrap and freezer paper. That works great. You know what else works great? For burger, if you're eating the stuff within a year, fucking Ziploc bag.
Oh, yeah.
Throw a pound of meat inside a
In deep
Ziploc
freezer.
bag.
Oh yeah.
Just roll
Push the
against-
air out of it. Done.
Yeah.
Fastest, best way I think to do
You guys all
stuff that
keep
you're
your
going to
stuff in
eat
the
within
deep
a
freezer.
year.
Yeah.
No, just a
Regular
whatever.
freezer?
Regular freezer is
What is the
zero.
difference? Difference between deep
Ground
freezer and
level.
freezer.
Yeah.
What's the difference?
Your
Temperature?
your product is
Is it
better
the
for way
temperature?
longer. It is better. The temperature, yes, because you're not
Because
going
a
in and out of it,
regular
and
freezer is like zero.
And I believe it's a little bit colder, but you're also not in and out of it, and your meat usually in a regular freezer they quote you I think 6 months, and a deep freezer is a year. And the same because I know this too because of breast milk because I've had so many babies here. The breast milk will last way longer in a deep freezer.
Well,
than a
I've
regular
eaten
freezer.
venison
Like
that's
twice as long.
2 years old out of a freezer,
Well, it depends on how you package it. too.
and it was.
I'm just
great.
saying what
It
you know,
was
like
excellent. No different.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I did
So-
break down having.
I used the vacuum seal bags on this deer, and then
You like
the
'em.
trash bags.
So you
for the grind.
recommend those to purchase those?
Definitely.
I'll have to check those
I'll have to
out.
get the information
I don't
from
even know
Mike
about
because
'em.
they're great bags. But then I had a couple roasts that I had my eye on that were sitting on that table, and I was looking at those, and I was like, I fucking know what I'm doing with you when you know what I mean? When I get done here, like,
Ziploc bag.
and then those tenderloins, dude.
Oh,
Holy dog shit. I hadn't had a venison tenderloin, and I couldn't tell you when. It was at least 6 months ago, which is way too long to go without a venison tenderloin. That's my favorite meal, hands down.
Yeah.
Dude, holy shit. The way now that I do them on the charcoal grill,
And then
you know, with the
sear 'em and
olive
smoke 'em?
oil and the... Yeah.
reverse sear.
No, fuck all that.
No,
Just to go regular sear, you know?
Regular sear.
and then throw it over the smoke.
Normal
smoke
cowgirl.
It. Smoke it over a charcoal grill.
None of that reverse cowgirl.
Baking it on a barbecue's badass. I like doing that now.
The reverse steer is a good technique, though.
Yeah.
Don't.
It is. It's fine. It doesn't make any difference. Well,
The
whatever.
whole
I'm
sear,
sure it does.
reverse sear is like starting a fucking motor oil topic on a forum. You
Go
know?
ahead, reverse
Right.
sear.
Just saying, don't deny it. Don't
Yeah.
deny it.
Here's why.
Just another.
Here's
thing in
why
your
I'm a
drawer.
fan of the
Witch oil,
the
snake oil.
what do you want to call it? The missionary sear.
Traditional.
The missionary sear. Because I can get a big charcoal chimney of red hot coals going, pour that right in the center of the grill, and have this tall pile of blazing fire embers. And I'll take my venison tenderloin when I prep it. I trim it all out. I give it a rinse, and then I dry it off. I brush it with olive oil, and then salt, pepper, and I did this on this one, which I think was amazing, was lemon pepper.
Ooh.
I did a little bit of lemon pepper, nothing crazy, just a little bit, both sides.
Doused.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I let that sucker sit out for 3 or 4 hours, kind of draws that salt in,
Yeah.
and let it come to room temperature, and then throw that thing on the grill with the olive oil and that big fire, and you get that nice charred coat, and it kind of seals everything up.
Yeah, dude.
And then I just pull that thing to the side of the grill, throw the lid on, close all the dampeners down so no moisture can come out of the grill even, and let that thing cook in there for
Like 275.
5 minutes or something. Check it with the meat thermometer, and when
What
that thing's,
temperature?
I think I pulled that one out at
15.
No, you're psychopath.
What? Come on.
I think I pulled 115. That's like
pull it out. Let it rest.
no,
Yeah.
like 125, 130, and that's still really it's pretty raw in the middle. If you have a big thick cut, and you pull that thing.
Well, it's that
Yeah.
if it depends
Yeah.
on how hard of a
I got
sear
a
you probably
thick-
put on it too.
thick cut.
Yeah, thick cut, Detroit style.
Yeah.
You like them thick?
But I think it's probably how thick of a sear you put on it, which traps it in.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean?
Right.
If it's not a hard sear you put on it, then I think maybe a little bit.
Oh, that's
cooler.
what you're saying. You
Yeah.
pull it off before you sear it at 115.
No,
for reverse.
I just take internal temperature at 115, 120. We pull it, let it rest for about 5 minutes. Tin it, let it rest.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right though. It all depends on how thick that cut is. You know, if you're got some big fat ass cut.
Right.
Why would that matter though? Because it's the temperature.
Well,
that-
the
Internal.
temp.
right.
Yeah,
I mean,
Well, you said your wife will eat like food raw, so
pretty much.
my wife won't do that at all. So,
Jody has a camp. You could send her.
but yeah, then I pull it off, let it rest for a little bit, and dude, I made like garlic parmesan mashed potatoes,
Yeah.
and then I made venison stock and made gravy from scratch out of that,
Nice.
and it was
How was making that stock?
so that's the second meal I actually did was the tenderloin. The first meal I did just a roast in the crock pot, threw the roast in, and I just took beef bouillon, little bit of I think Worcestershire, soy, maybe just a tiny little bit of Dijon mustard, and I don't know. I just throw a bunch of shit in there. You know what I mean? And I'm like tasting it with a spoon the whole time. Like, oh yeah, that's money, you know. And I pour that whole liquid right inside the crock pot and let that thing cook, slow cook. And then did that all day. Pulled that out, drained all that off, and then we shredded all that meat. And we used that to make like tacos and stuff. You know, we put a little bit of taco seasoning in
Yeah.
there or whatever. We made fajitas, tacos, and stuff with all that shredded. And that shit was ridiculous, dude. And but you save all that stock, you know, and it's got all the liquid from the roast and everything, plus the marinade that you made. And then you just put that on in a big saucepan and just get a rage and boil going on it and let it boil for, shit, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes, and it'll boil some of that moisture up. And you'll see, it'll start to thicken up just a little bit. Shut that heat off, and I just take a little bit of flour, put that flour in there, and just keep stirring and stirring. You know, and as it cools off, it'll start to thicken up, and you might throw a little more flour in there, and keep stirring, and boom,
Pour it into a jar. And
you got gravy like some fucking just badass, top-notch shit.
Nice.
That with the taters and the venison tenderloin, dude. So we made street tacos with the roast, and then I also, because I had that stuff cooked with like some cilantro and some different taco seasoning and stuff. We made breakfast tacos. We made scrambled eggs and put that in the little street taco things with scrambled eggs, and that pulled, you know, cilantro venison and shit, and some sour cream, dude. It was
Nice.
salsa. It was holy fuck. That buck eats like a goddamn king.
Dude.
nice.
Yeah, we took a roast. Like, we are not roast people whatsoever. We're crock pot cookers. And we took a tough ass piece of roast, put it in out, you know, rinse it off, pat it dry, olive oil, and then just season it how you would a steak, and threw it in the crock. And Jody dumped a 16-ounce jar of mild banana peppers, mild peppers in. And then
Are we doing a Ussie?
we're doing a self-portrait.
Ussy?
Yeah.
Ussy?
It's an Ussie. Is this a video or a photo or?
That's it.
Oh boy.
Photo.
Boy.
Hey, boy.
It's a pretty good one.
Yeah, dumped a 16-ounce jar of mild peppers in there, and then topped it off till it covered the roast with zing zang,
Yeah.
dude, and let that son of a
That
bitch
zing zang's
cook
good
for
shit.
5 hours. We pulled it out. It was
You pulled it out or she pulled it out?
Here we go.
not in this house, but anyways,
I think not in Ryan's house is what you're getting.
took the roast out of the cooker, and we shredded the shit out of it because it was tough as hell. It was natural, and threw it back in the juices. Let it go for a little while, and then we made veni sliders. Phenomenal. You don't taste it. You don't taste that tomatoey zing zang in case people are skeptical.
Yeah, you don't get the tomato.
No.
You just get the sodium out of it, right?
That and it has a mild hint of the mild peppers. It was great, dude. It was so good. And then we made for leftovers, made enchiladas with it. Did that, and then we cooked the heart up. That's one of our favorites.
Yeah, heart's good.
Dude, we just
I'm gonna use the
beep beep.
big
So
boys'
it
room
is.
outside. But then let's talk about heart.
Heart.
I got a good heart recipe.
Ooh. Well, we cut it in half, clean all the shit outside. All the stuff looks like Freddy Krueger's face. We just shave off all the little strings and then the tallow on the outside, and then just a little bit of olive oil, season up like a regular steak, and we just sear it up in the cast iron with some bacon grease and butter,
Yeah.
super medium rare, and eat it up.
That's the way I've always done it. Usually, the last time I had heart was up at Buckhorn. We just had like a cast iron skillet,
Yeah.
like pretty much threw a whole stick of butter and set it on top of the wood
So
stove.
good.
You know, and just let that butter melt down, get the pan nice and hot, and then just slice up the heart and throw it into the skillet and just let it basically sear up, you know, and
Yeah.
then just start eating it.
Did you save the liver at all? Or?
Yeah, I saved the liver, but it fell out of the deer when I was dragging it out. I took the heart and the liver,
Are
and
you just keeping it in the body cavity as you're dragging it?
yeah, keeping the body dragging.
Trying to keep a grocery bag or something like that.
I had what the hell? Yeah, I had them in there. And thank God the heart was in there when I got back to camp. Yeah, I don't know. We looked through Jason's car for the liver.
Where's my liver? Where's my liver?
Like, I am not a liver guy. I've tried on so many levels to become one, and I was
At least
willing
save
to
it
give
for
this.
somebody that might like it, you know.
Yeah, I was willing to give this one a shot, but I was kind of bummed when it fell out.
I can't do the liver, man.
It's
I just can't get
horrible.
past the mental block of knowing that filters all the bad shit out of.
See, that doesn't bother me. The fact that it tastes like fucking shit bothers
Like
me.
eating, like eating pennies. Basically.
Yeah, it's just too like.
I don't like it.
But you know, I mean, I don't know. I would try it in different recipes. I'd like to try an off the wall recipe, something that's like not like a liver and onions thing.
I'll do the heart. I'll do the tongue,
Yeah.
but I will not do liver or kidneys.
No.
I just won't touch that.
The metal
People are
taste.
eating the kidneys.
Oh
too.
yeah. Yep.
What about the lungs? Can you cook those up?
I heard you can. There weren't anything left of mine. I did do a turkey recipe. All those guys that throw your turkey leg quarters away, like I keep mine, and I just clean them up.
Legs?
Yeah.
Oh, a lot of guys throw duck legs away too. But
Dude.
one season we saved all of our duck legs and we made jerky out of a lot of them, and it was
Yeah.
fabulous, man. It was awesome.
I can't believe guys
Did I
throw.
say fabulous?
You did in a fabulous fashion.
I can't believe people
It
throw
was
that away.
Fabulous.
It fed my wife
Wow.
and I an entire meal for dinner. We just put it in the crock pot again with cream mushroom soup and a couple other things, celery, some vegetables,
Dude, you
onions.
can
Was this last
anything in
season?
a crock pot with cream and mushroom soup.
Oh,
is amazing.
it was
This last
phenomenal.
season,
We
too.
shredded it, and then we shredded it up, took it off the bone, and threw it back in, mixed it up, and it was pretty much like a turkey leg stroganoff. It was
Yeah.
phenomenal. It just blows me away / pisses me off that people just throw that shit out. All right,
Well-
just take the breasts.
What I'm kind of thinking too, some people are like, oh, it's not worth it because it's such a small cut. But sometimes it's such a delicacy because it's such a small cut. You're not going to get a lot of it, but it's tasty. It's like saving walleye cheeks. You know, like over when we were hitting the walleye jigging
Oh,
over the
yeah.
spring.
A turkey quarter.
I saved the walleye cheeks for the whole season. I'm sorry, I was saving the walleye cheeks
oh
for the
yeah,
whole
it's
season.
so good.
And then cooking those up one night, they're amazing,
They're
man.
so
Stupid
good.
good.
Oh.
Turkey leg quarter is not a small cut. If you're throwing it away, you're just goddamn fool.
The walleye
Just
cheek
wasteful.
is the freshwater scallop.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. And
So
if you
good.
haven't had them, you're missing out.
No, they're good.
But they're not big.
They're not.
No.
They're about the size of like a quarter.
Got a
Well, it
Christmas
depends on
sale,
the size
huh?
of the walleye.
Dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, these
I like those a whole lot.
these are delicious.
I had one on.
Scotch ale, best part, 7.5% by volume.
Oh shit.
I like how you knock the beer cans over with your mic too. Nonetheless,
Couple bush cans hit the dirt.
it's gonna have a good ring to it
This-
in the podcast, though. That little.
This is a Bell's Christmas ale. It's pretty good, but the ultimate Christmas ale I come across is a Great Lakes Brewery.
Really?
Yeah.
Hmm.
God, dude, that's the best Christmas ale.
Those are good. I had one of those on draft this weekend, and I
Yeah.
really enjoyed it.
Very good.
You know what I do with my heart?
Yeah, what you do?
Trim that thing out real good. You know, I like to slice it.
Yeah, that's kind of to like steak thicknesses.
Yeah, yeah, maybe like half-inch
Yep.
or something, and then you kind of clean those.
A little kite strings out of it.
Yeah, what the hell's that? Yeah, trim that thing up real, nice and clean. And man, be honest with you, I know some people might not agree with this, but I've just done it this way, and it's fucking really good. Is throw those suckers and marinade in Italian dressing for like 24 hours, and then throw that on just a ripping hot barbecue, and they only take a minute or two on each side.
You do not want to overcook your heart.
You want to pull that thing off.
Turned it into a little black beady thing.
You turn it into mine.
And then I like to take a piece of buttered toast.
Ooh.
Take a piece of buttered toast, and you put that heart in there, and you make a little deer heart sandwich. And I'm telling you, if you catch that thing right off the grill, don't overcook it.
Yeah.
You got to, just like you do any other cut of venison, right? Medium rare. That's how I like it.
Oh, yeah.
And if you even want to get crazy, I did one time where I took goat cheese. I put goat cheese on that bread.
That's such a good idea.
And a little bit of sriracha. And I make deer heart sandwiches out of buttered toast. And you can do all kinds of different things in there. And holy shit, dude. I'm telling you, there's just no going back from that.
That's so good. That's my trophy. That's my antlers. All the cool shit, wild game recipes, just
What are you looking at there, huh?
Jason just shot another deer.
Jason Samkoviak did, huh?
Yep.
Good for
That's
him.
breaking news 16 minutes ago, guys.
He's a
Breaking
good hunter.
news. You heard it first on a Deer Hunter podcast.
He's a good hunter. He shot a great buck this year.
He's an excellent hunter.
Guys really like
He's
his
selling
podcast
DVDs too.
and
So
shit.
if you don't,
Is he really?
Yeah. So if you can go on there and order DVDs from him, he goes through scouting.
He's a good guy. He's funny.
Yeah.
He's just an all-around good person and excellent hunter and traditional bow hunter.
Yeah, he is. He's a woodsman,
Yes, he is.
which we don't have a whole lot of, so that's good for people to know him. What's shout out Jason's podcast there, huh?
Yep, traditional art, traditional bow.
Traditional bow hunting and wilderness.
podcast, yeah, and wilderness podcast.
Jason Samkoviak.
And he does
Good guy.
scouting DVDs.
Does all that in northern
hardcore
Michigan
traditional.
too, huh?
Yes, Northern Michigan, one of
Yeah.
the toughest places
It's
to
like
kill
a
it.
predecessor of.
He'll travel
some
to other
elites.
states. He puts aside, I think, a couple weeks a year. He travels out of state to different places. He'll go down to Georgia and like Missouri, stuff like that. He'll go down south too, which is kind of cool. You don't hear a lot of guys going down to Georgia. I think that's where he's hunted down that way.
I want to do the Alabama thing one time. Go down there and hunt that.
I'd like to do that too. I talked to Brian Broderick actually today, and
Sounds pretty fun. man.
Aaron
It'd be cool to go to
Snyder-
Texas too. We know we got some contacts down in Texas now. So
Aaron Snyder's going to be at the traditional bow hunting expo.
Mm-hmm.
That's the last weekend there in January in Kalamazoo.
I'll be there this year.
Is it the same
I'm
weekend
going.
as the film?
It's the same weekend as the film premiere.
Fuck, I
But
guess I won't be there.
Dude, it's only 30 minutes. It's only 30 or 45
Really?
minutes from the film premiere.
They do too.
You can go
I
to
wanna-
that show.
I
want
to go so bad.
They do
I
two
wanna
a year.
go so bad.
Well, that one is January 26th.
Oh, the one with that dude.
And Snyder is on 2:00 in the afternoon on Saturday. He's doing like a backcountry.
Campfire story.
No, it's not like a story. It's like a like a
Workshop?
seminar.
Okay,
Seminar.
Oh, nice.
Yep. And on like traditional bow hunting in the backcountry. I mean,
He's a
he's
cool
been
dude,
doing
man.
a lot of
He's
it
a
the last
really
couple of
cool
years,
dude.
so it's kind of neat. I think it's super neat, super cool that they got him to come out there and do that.
I didn't
He's a
follow him much
wealth of
before
knowledge.
he was into traditional, but was he a compound bow hunter and then he switched hardcore to traditional?
Yeah.
I can see why he did it. It's fun.
Yeah,
it's a challenge, and that guy.
He's a straight
It seems like he
murderer.
went whatever he does. He goes hardcore.
Yeah.
You know.
Sounds
Right
like
into
somebody I know.
So, but anyways, the whole reason we got talking about that is because when that show is when Snyder's coming.
Yep.
And he was trying to get Brian Broderick to come up and do that show with him and have a booth for day 6.
Yeah.
at the show, and Project's like, "That's the rut here, dude." Like, no, no,
There's only one answer that fits that question.
hard no.
Yeah, right. See there.
So yeah, that's the rut down there in that spot there
Georgia?
in Alabama.
Or Alabama.
And I'd like to do that too. That would be cool to go down there if there's some public land and hunt the rut down there.
January?
Yeah, but it's like,
dude. I know.
yeah,
it's probably
like 45 degrees there.
Oh yeah, I bet. For us, it'd be like a dream. We'd probably be walking out in our skivvies and hanging out of the trees,
Just hunting in our base layers.
I think they get some cold
With our
mornings.
trap
It'd be in the
doors.
forest. When I lived in Pensacola, which was right across the bay from, Mobile, it'd be like mid-40s.
That's very
Low
comfortable
40s.
for us. We would have a hard time. When does their archery season open up down there?
Couldn't tell you.
It's like November.
But they have that late rut. Man, I want a beer. Anybody got a beer, huh?
I got a bush
Can you,
light
can
for
you
you,
reach
brother.
the... Anybody got another?
What's wrong with a bush light? They're good.
I'll have a Busch Light.
They're good for you.
I'll have a Busch Light.
You can't be picky.
I've been
over
drinking
free
Busch
beer.
Lights. No, they're not bad beer.
Dirty 30.
He's got
man.
a fucking Christmas ale sitting in front of me.
Yeah.
You know? I might as well, like, reach out first.
Give you my last one.
He doesn't pipe up. He's like, yeah, I got a Christmas ale, but I'm not going to say nothing.
I got another.
No, I have a winter white.
Got another thing of CBS sitting at the house, but I'm saving it for when I shoot a deer this year.
I don't care
Dude.
for that.
You gonna age a couple?
Yeah.
Nice. I want to get some backwoods bastards and age them.
I got a perfect little crawl space.
I'm gonna
for
age
them,
mine.
Too.
Put in the fridge and when I'm, I'll drink it when I
Age it
the
and
beer
just-
before it gets drank.
Yeah,
The one-
aged,
this
it
when I-
aged that one 2 days, huh?
Yeah, drink all the beers before that one. Let that one sit.
That one's aged.
It's 48 hours old.
I aged some.
He's a survivor.
I'm a survivor.
I aged a bottle for 3 years once.
Did you?
A golden ale.
How was it?
It was awesome, dude. It was super
Do
smooth.
you think it's that much better to age it?
well, the
I mean,
trick
like that
the
much?
trick is forget about it. Just put it in the back of your bar or whatever. And I literally just forgot about it, but it was super smooth, like potent.
Did you do a meal with your buck? Yeah. I'm just assuming you
Yeah.
guys been eating.
Yeah, I did that.
You get all 64 pounds of it.
Oh yeah.
How much was left, did you?
He fit in our freezer in the fridge, like keeping everything, and maybe a 20-inch wide by maybe a 20-inch square cube in our freezer.
Yeah.
Vacuum sealed it all up.
It's a lot of buck.
Kept all the one shoulder was annihilated from getting hit.
Oopsies.
Yeah. Well, one shot
A little bit of meat loss.
One shot came in, nailed both lungs, grazed the top of the heart, and ended up in the front left shoulder. So we chopped all that up for burger. We don't really cut too much in the burger. We behind quarter. We do a lot of steaks.
So
Yeah.
your
What?
best shot for not ruining meat is a straight lung shot, double lung.
Oh,
Double
yeah.
lung.
Yeah.
Or a headshot.
Yeah, you don't want it to blow through the heart now because we know how good that is.
No.
I had a question about that. Going back to that real quick.
My heart for my deer?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
About cutting, like how do you cut with the grain on that? You know what I mean? With the meat? Do you guys pay attention to how
Cut,
you're cutting it
cut
with the
that
grain?
thing
Top
for the
to
heart.
bottom.
Yes.
Top to bottom, just like an apple.
Yeah.
Just
And then
And
pretty
then
much
you slice it all that way like an apple?
I cut it in. I kind of cut it in half,
Mm-hmm.
and then I kind of do it again, just so I get, like you said, half-inch steaks. And
Is there 2 sections of the heart?
No, there's
Split
like a couple big chambers in
Chambers,
there.
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Just like,
You get like
Standard.
what looks
There's
like an
not
apple.
A tremendous
you know?
amount of meat on it.
well, I know that. But
Oh,
I'm
I'd
just,
say
fed Jody and I.
oh yeah,
I mean,
a heart's a good
it's
meal.
bigger than a softball,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
Huh.
It depends
Yeah.
on how big of a deer
It's
too.
the size of my fist, not a normal man's. But yeah, it's a good meal.
.com.
If you're not being size of my fist, not a normal man's in your ass.
Oh my god.
I can handle my fist, not a normal man.
Oh, start slow.
Oh boy.
Oh.
Oh boy.
But yeah, if you're not
just parring at it.
Just pawing to get out, like Lemmy Winks.
dude, that's instantly what I start thinking
Fucking
about.
Lemmy Winks, son of a bitch. Lemmy Winks.
No, you get a good meal out of the heart if you're not a fat ass. It'll feed the both of you, 2
Yeah.
people easily.
I just, I mean, anytime I've had it, it's up at camp, and it just seems like it goes so fast.
Like an
with people.
appetizer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did that.
Grabbing little chunks of it.
We ate the heart, the tenderloins, and then a roast out of that buck. And I think
Mhm.
we're going to do some back straps Friday out of them. Kept all the shanks. Do ossobuco.
What time's dinner?
We eat pretty late. You're already in bed. We eat about.
We're
We're usually sitting down about 8:15.
Okay, yeah.
No
We're in
shit.
bed for an hour or so.
Yeah, I'm like a 5:30 dinner.
Yeah. Mrs. rolls in about 6:15, 6:30, and we start at the dinner.
Yeah, I eat dinner probably 7.
Yeah, we're usually sitting down for lucky at 7.
Yeah.
But yeah, the ossobuco, if you haven't done that yet, highly recommend. It's so good, man. The way that marrow cooks up in there.
Yeah, I haven't.
Oh, very, very good.
But I've just been doing my shanks in the slow cooker, you know?
Yeah. We got one of the Lodge cast iron, the porcelain coated Dutch ovens.
Mm-hmm.
How'd you cook your deer?
Braised them in there.
In my imagination.
So good. I can't even tell you the
It's
recipe,
slow-
but it's delicious.
It's slow cooking, low and slow. In my imagination.
Super low, super slow.
Get your roadkill recovery kit.
We should write we should. Yeah, I do. I've been looking. I can honestly tell you, I have never been looking for roadkill harder than I have been. Dude, the last 2 weeks, I actually took a coworker with me on a job because I saw a deer.
You
on
called
the
me up.
I called you up too, and I went there. I didn't end up taking the deer. I should have checked into it more. It was in the middle of the work day though, and everything was just kind of weird scenario. I won't get into it, but I didn't take the deer.
No, I'm always looking, but usually it's just a bag of trash when I get up.
I get pretty beat up.
I need meat. So if there's anybody out there that's looking to donate a deer, one of our listeners, I'll take one.
No, there's a lot of deer season left.
Oh, I know that. I'm going
We
to
still
be out
got,
there.
honestly, 2
Yeah.
months.
Yeah.
You fucking bow hunters, you got
I
a
know.
little bit of
Well,
time.
no, I'm going to. Last year I hunted till the end of January,
Right.
and I'll be doing the same this year if I don't have a deer in my freezer.
No.
As soon as I get a deer in my freezer, it'll greatly cut
That's
back.
why
My
I like-
family is. They barely know who I am anymore, so I'll gladly cut back on my hunting a little
That's
bit.
why, I mean, I'm wearing this new jacket because you get those Black Friday sales where all the camo companies are like clearancing their shit. It's like, man, I got a lot of hunting left to go. It's a good time to stock up on some warmer layers.
Dude, I've been pretty comfortable, and I've been hunting that 6-site gear, and I have a Smart Wool base layer that I've been wearing that it's hard to give up, that 250 weight Smart Wool. This what I'll wear is a pair of like athletic pants like you'd buy at Meijer.
Like for yoga?
No, not yoga pants, but these are like a nylon type of polyester type of like a swishy,
Oh, like a yoga pant.
like a basketball shorts but pants.
like wading pants.
No, they're loose.
Like Adidas.
No.
Yeah, like Adidas. Yeah, I'll put those over, and then I'll put my 6-site soft shell over that, and that's been comfortable pretty much all
Dude, those
season.
soft shell pants that 6-site makes is the one thing this year that I could not go back to not having.
Well,
Anything.
know what my
can say the
favorite
same
combo
thing.
is? Just
get a pair
the
of those.
smart wool and the soft shell 6-site. Those two things
It's like wearing
together.
your pajama pants
I don't
out.
want to take them off. I don't want to take them off. But
you're
but
gonna
for the
take 'em
top
off.
side, I either wear the puffy coat that you gave me. I don't have a 6-site puffy coat now, but I used the puffy coat, the Cabela's one or something you gave me.
Yeah.
Or I have a Cabela's wool sheer sweater. I'll wear underneath that. And pretty much all season I've been comfortable with that. You know.
Yeah, I
been
was
pretty
hunting
good.
down. I mean, the one couple mornings up for rifle season, it was down in the low teens.
Yep.
And I was hunting with the 6-site with a puffy underneath it, and I was comfy.
Opening day was 18, man. That's cold as shit out
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, the soft shell pants need a little bit. They need quite a bit more, almost to be doubled up.
Well,
it needs
you
something
just-
more in the northern Michigan cold weather
Those
than
pants
a
aren't-
base layer in those. They're
those
not designed
pants
for that.
are
Right.
not made for
They're not designed.
stance
No,
We
fitting.
need that dude to come up and
I'm
hunt.
hoping they
They
are
need-
designing
They
new
need,
stuff.
is-
But,
what would be great, they need a pair of puffy pants
Yes.
to go under those. Because those pants are fucking bulletproof
or
perfect.
Or I would say I would have available a bib, a late season bib.
And
Instead of doing the pants,
100%.
go to a base layer
But
and a
those
mid-season bib, and you
pants
can
for-
even wear those in between. If it's really, really cold, you can wear your soft shell and your bib. You know,
Those pants are,
they're warm and comfortable.
they're awesome.
and to not get, go on 6-site's website right now. Their shit is marked like 50% off.
They're and right
Is
now
it
too.
really?
Yeah,
but
man.
too also I'd be sorry. I think they're having a hard time keeping up with orders because there's maybe a lot of people ordering, but there's a lot of stuff that is
Sold
not
out.
sold out that you won't be able to get till maybe next spring or something like that.
Right.
They have small and 3X.
Six
for the
site.
There's a lot of stuff that I want to get that
No,
I don't
just
have yet
anybody.
that I can't get in the size that I want. But
Yeah.
you know, I know they're obviously working on it. You know, and
It's like
So-
the time of
Well,
new
that
lines are
Smith
coming
River
out, too.
hoodie, dude, they're all their gear. I can't say
Well, it's
enough
made-
good stuff about them.
It's
Right.
quality. It's made in the U.S.
They're the people that handle and run that business.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Whit
come
Peterson?
on, dude. How do you get a guy like that?
Yeah.
That just is like.
I
that
follow
prompt?
him too. Follow him on
Yeah,
Instagram.
He's
He's
such
the
a
coolest
cool
dude.
man.
You watch him
He's like the
"Oh,
nicest
yeah,
guy
yeah."
ever.
It's like watching
He's
your dad.
super helpful.
Right.
He gets back to you instantly. You can ask Whit any
personable,
question.
very personable too.
Whit,
You
where
know?
was the polyester sourced? I don't know, but I'll look into it.
Yeah.
15 minutes later, you know.
Yeah.
Just a
Hey,
great
thanks
dude.
again for,
Renee,
yeah.
same thing.
Oh yeah, she's
I mean,
awesome.
The people that run that
Steven
company
too. We need
are-
to get him on the line again too because he was a really cool guy to
and
talk
the
to.
gear just
speaks for itself.
It's great.
Yeah.
And we kicked the fucking dog shit out of that
But
stuff.
there's some
And
things that it needs to probably upgrade a little bit for the
100% for
Northern
whitetail
Michigan
specific.
stationary deer hunting
But
type
for
of stuff. Yeah.
but for being on the go, dude, those pants with a base layer and those pants for being on the go. I was doing
Well, I
all
was
my
thinking, like,
hiking
if
with
you were-
that.
Yeah.
Oh man, and that Smith River hoodie, I think that
Having those the thumb cuffs on it and stuff too.
just
everything
for a
about it.
mobile hunter,
Yes.
if you're hiking your stuff in and out,
Yeah.
I think that hoodie is perfect. Even if it's 15, 20 degrees, if you have that hoodie on with a base layer, it's great while you're on the go.
You know what I do though is I just take that. I do wear that soft shell because it sheds. Because when you're going through picker stuff, the
It's
Smith
like
River
having
is the Smith River is not good for pickers, but the soft shell
Sure.
is amazing. I'm telling you, that's probably the best fabric I've worn through pickers is their soft shell
It's like
pants
having
and
a
jacket.
force field on.
I
It's
can't believe
ridiculous.
it's not completely tore up because I
Well,
go
it's
through that stuff.
probably
like-
product of them being in Texas, huh?
Right?
no, it's
Yeah.
really good. I'm surprised how well even the soft shell does because they have another pair of pants built for more of that stuff, but it's real thin. You know, it's
Yeah.
like an earlier season. But oh shit, I forgot where I was going. No, I'm saying for late season, even when it's cold, this is exactly where I was going. I'm right on it now. But they have a
Back on
zipper.
track.
They have a zipper,
Yeah.
a long ass zipper for your
Ooh.
armpit
Yeah.
on the
To
soft
vent
shell.
out, yeah.
I
Tickle
think it's
spots?
probably like a 16-inch or 13-inch zipper that opens the whole side of that coat up. So it's like wearing the guys that take the t-shirts and tear them all the way down.
Oh,
You know, so you're like a douchebag. but it's actually very functionable.
Well, you
know,
could keep hammering.
functional. Dude, I'm telling you,
Keep
yeah,
hammering.
dude,
Just keep hammering.
that hoodie with those.
I like to
don't
unzip
stop.
them just to the point
You
where my
stop
nipples are
hammering.
about to
You
stick
stop
out.
hammering, you're out of this house.
That's what I'm talking.
I like to wear a
but,
beanie, gloves, and no shirt on or anything, just to cool off.
No, but I'm telling you that hoodie,
beanie and
all in
gloves
seriousness,
and a neck
that
gaiter.
hoodie with the soft shell with it dripped down for cold weather is the way to go.
Right?
For
Like
mobile
the
hunting.
guys on
That's
the
what I
fishing
was doing.
commercials that have the neck
Oh my
gaiter
God.
with no shirt on.
I'll wear a dickie with no shirt on.
When we
Dude,
were fishing
A
with
face gaiter pulled up and no shirt on. What? What are you doing? What are you talking about?
Those fucking chachas out in the flats, man, that go zipping by in the bass boats with the reflective lenses and the neck gaiter and no shirt on and gloves.
yeah.
Gloves?
No, fingerless gloves.
I've seen
yeah,
them, man.
there you go.
No joke,
more
I've
sporty.
seen them.
What I was doing was I just wear my base layers and the soft shell, and then have my like insulating layers in my backpack.
Yeah, the middle layers.
Yeah, and when I
Yeah.
got out there, because that soft shell doesn't get wet, you know. So if you're going out,
it will.
you gotta get if it's cold out and you're busting
When
through
I
snow and
I
stuff.
went to the spot Kevin sent me to, I got wet.
Yeah.
But I went through a mile
was
of cedar
excessive.
swamp that was covered with wet snow.
And in my defense,
You did tell me to bring a sacrificial hoodie. You did tell me to bring a sacrificial hoodie, but even to that, I was completely drenched in sweat. It was a rough deal out there.
Yeah.
But thanks for sending me out there, and it was cool. It was cool. I mean,
You could
I thoroughly
envision-
enjoyed myself.
you could
So-
envision shooting a big old giant buck out there, right?
Yeah, but I think more for bow season though.
Yeah.
Dude,
Could
we were
be.
back in the shit
I left
opening morning.
I left the camera there, so
Yeah, I can't wait to see the
I
pictures.
still
Show
got
me
it.
the pictures of those dates.
you
that
know what the
range.
problem is with all those big, what I've been finding with all those islands way out there in the swamps is that they got a bunch of bears on them. And I
Really?
don't know that the deer like
Yeah.
that all that much.
Lots of big bears.
What kind of bears?
And you know what? You know what? It's funny. I
2
don't.
bears, 1 flex.
Do you guys ever think about running up on bears? Do you ever think about running up on a bear? or
By
no?
that time of year, it's not really
No.
Fucking slap Yogi right
When
across
we
the
were out
lips, I
there
don't
scouting
care.
early springtime, it was kind of in my mind just because that time of year they're
Cubs.
waking up, you know.
I mean, I'm not
Cubs.
against having a pistol with me.
Black bears. You're not
No.
too
Yeah.
worried about it,
Dude,
though.
people
did get a
killed
cool
by
hunt.
black bears. People get attacked by black bears.
I got a sweet chest.
But yeah, it's not like a goddamn
holster
grizzly.
now
You don't have to
from-
worry about fucking bears in Michigan.
Well,
Lady
we
got
got cats
attacked
in
last
northern
year.
Michigan too. Now we got
What's that?
cats. In
Lady
northern
got
Michigan.
attacked last year by a black bear in Michigan. I think she got killed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it could happen. They
It's a
if,
goddamn bear.
you want to try to take a black bear hand-on-hand
The bears,
combat?
they
I
can
don't fucking
smell
think
the
so.
menstruation.
You know?
That's probably
And
what
I don't wanna-
happened. That's
I don't
probably
wanna
what
kill a
happened.
bear.
You put the whole camp in danger.
No.
It was her fault.
I'm not opposed to having a sidearm with you when you're out in the woods.
No, never.
There's nothing wrong with that. I carry a
Crazy.
sidearm with
Some
me
of
a
those
lot when I'm
guys
out
that
the
live in them
woods.
shelters out there.
Dude, I've walked across some meth shelters. You know,
Yeah, I'm more
That's
afraid
for
of
sure.
that than like a fucking bear or a wolf, you know, than some
sketchy.
sketchy
Well, and-
crackhead out of.
Well, you could
He's a
even run into.
crackhead.
You could run into. There's all sorts of scenarios you can run into out in the woods. There are.
I would like that. I
I haven't
definitely
ran into any
sleep
where I've needed it.
better in my tent up there with my 9mm.
Yeah, I do
Right
think
at my
about
head.
that.
Yeah.
I
Or my
like having my
45.
9mm right here while I'm sleeping. Right here.
In case a mouse jumps out at you.
Doesn't matter. I'll
Field mouse.
start shooting.
Choo 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 pew pew. Yeah,
Yeah, man.
that's crazy.
It's more comfortable for me
I have to
personally.
be careful if I ever camp in that.
It's like
tent.
you're
I'm good.
Don't roll over or snore weird.
as a
got
kid, it's a
trigger safety.
nightlight, and then as you grow up, it's a
No,
9mm.
I don't even keep one in the chamber.
Nightlight to 9mm.
I know.
I don't even have one in the chamber. You're good.
I know karate.
We'd have it figured out before I fired at you.
That's good.
Only two people know karate: the king and me.
What the hell is talking about?
Yeah, oh my god.
Dewey Cox walk hard. You don't remember
I
that?
never saw Dewey Cox walk hard.
Jack Black with some karate. No, Jack White played Elvis. And when Elvis was all fucked up in the 70s with his little leather jumpsuits doing karate moves on stage, farting away.
Yeah.
Never mind, I'm not going to get into it. Mooks want to go see it, rent it.
We were going down a good. I felt like
We
we
were
were
going
on
down a good road.
No, I
there.
felt like we were on a topic that we were starting to talk like a little
Deer
bit
hunting?
educationally about.
Yeah.
Are you talking about going out in the swamps with the bears, the guns?
Yeah,
the
that was a
sleeping?
little bit of it. I think next year
Fuck bears.
I'm gonna
I bet
not
you
focus
would.
so much time on those islands.
I want to tell you, I think that
'Cause I
the
think
hills
those
over that
islands-
way, I think the hills over that way can be productive
And they have eyes.
Yeah.
in the hills. And I found this one spot. I don't know what your guys' opinion is of it. I think I told you about it that I found, and it was covered in snow. I wish I would have found it in the fall and scouted it. But it was a blowdown, like the whole top of this ridge. If you could figure like a bump, you know, like a ridge line's got a little peak to it, and then it comes down maybe to a saddle, another peak. The whole one of the peaks was a blowdown of oak trees and stuff like that, mature trees, the whole thing. I thought, dude, that would be excellent buck bedding. And
Sure.
I was finding mature rubs around there when I was walking in the snow. I just didn't see any deer.
When you
hunting.
talk deer hunting, it's mature.
mature.
He's a mature
Sorry,
buck.
but do you guys think that'd be a good spot to try to focus around? You could get real close to that blowdown. I think buck would go right in there underneath that. They'd like that head cover.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard like from Dan Infalt and stuff like that. You know, and I know you just know in general they just like that more enclosure where they can sneak in and hide somewhere. It's almost like somebody's doing one of those hinge cuts
Yeah.
because it's a blowdown, you know. So
I
I'd
like-
like to go scout that out in the spring.
I like benches
Mm-hmm.
a lot, and from everything I saw this year, like it doesn't even have to be like a real substantial one. It can just be a pretty mild bench, but boy oh boy,
Well, it's whatever's easy for you to travel on. The deer are going to travel on.
Right.
I found. So
No
whatever-
doubt.
You know, but through the thicker shit though, when you find the stuff that's easy to travel, but it's got thicker cover, like lower cover, that I found probably more deer in that shit.
Yep.
But the stuff that's miserable to
well
walk through,
in the swamps I like
follow a deer trail.
I like
That's all you can really
ridges.
do.
Like the little islands there don't seem to be nearly as productive as like if you can find like and
High-
you can
high
hardly
grind in
even
the swamp.
see them on topography.
You're saying the high ground in the swamp?
Yeah,
That's above the
it's like a
above
ridge,
swamp?
ridges that travel through, or maybe breaks up two parts of a swamp or something. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it might be 80 yards wide, and half a mile long or whatever, but you'll have like a ridge that carries through a swamp versus like an island.
It could be 20 foot higher than a swamp or 10 foot higher.
They're
than a
just
swamp.
money. They're just money. Yeah, it could be 4 foot above the swamp,
Yep.
so that's dry.
That's your ridge.
It's mature trees
Get some oaks and
versus
stuff.
being thick swamp on both sides of it.
Yeah.
Fucking money every time.
I could tell you, I know we've got a lot of the deer season left. We've got a lot of firearm. We've got muzzleloader and late doe and late archery. But I can tell you how excited I am for this scouting season. I'm starting to get more excited. I love scouting and in general, but it's known that scouting season's coming up, and then I got a whole nother year to prepare for. It's almost like a redemption thing because you know what I mean. Like I've got another chance of redemption.
It's your
but the season's
participation trophy.
Right.
Well,
Well,
what
this
tags do you
season's-
have left?
every single tag in my pocket. I have got my deer combo. I've got a public land deer tag for down here. I've got a public land deer tag for up north, and I've got an Ohio tag. I've probably got about
5 tags, huh?
I've got like $400 or at least $300 I would say in tags. It's not 400. Your combo dues $200 for Ohio tag this year about.
You got $100 wrapped up.
So
in
$200 in Ohio, and I've got everything else in Michigan. So I've got some money in tags, and I had I wanted to give myself the most amount of possible options this season
Right.
to kill a deer.
That's what I did.
And I've been out hunting, and I don't get a deer yet, dude.
Yeah,
I'm
well,
the
with
world's
the-
most average hunter.
With the recurve, too,
Well, I did really commit myself to recurve this season, so that my archery season's been more difficult.
no doubt.
I've blown chances in with the recurve bow, but.
Yeah, you
Dude,
would have killed a
I,
deer with a compound.
I can honestly say I've just really, really enjoyed the process and the learning, the new learning you get into with traditional archery and the process, and even just shooting it. So I'm okay if I don't get a deer because I switched to a recurve this year. I'm okay with that. But I really want to kill one with a gun because I need meat.
Do it.
Right.
And
I want to kill one with the recurve
I
too.
hear
Still,
you.
You're not hunting with that slingshot, are you, during muzzleloader?
No, fuck no. My muzzleloader. I might take it out once or twice, but it'll be
fuck
after
outta
I
here.
kill a deer with my
Yeah.
muzzleloader.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I wouldn't be going out with my
No,
bow
I'm not-
if I didn't
no.
already have a deer.
No.
I'm hungry right now. My belly is the one thing I'm working for.
And I hope I get to. I'd like to do some muzzleloader too. I love hunting with my muzzleloader.
Oh, dude. It's
but
if
I
I-
really want an opportunity to kill a deer with my bow. It's been a couple years, and
I'm
I'm kind of feeling it.
You got a deer in the freezer, you have that luxury.
You could smoke one with a
Right.
muzzleloader. Then
But
you got,
I just said that, and if I didn't have a deer dead, there's no way I'd be even thinking about that.
smoke one with a muzzleloader. Then that late season and that Tri-County area that goes till February, get one with your bow.
Right. I kind of like to get the bow kill on the film,
Yeah.
just because I missed one and had an incident with another one, and hasn't looked great for me bow hunting on the film. Wouldn't be the worst thing to wrap her up strong with a shot through the heart at 15 yards, with right down, 2015.
You want me to pull out my flint and steel?
So
I'm excited for January bow hunting. Last year was miserable, but it was
Hopefully it's a
definitely
little-
type 2 fun.
hopefully it's a
type two.
little. It's hard to bow hunt with a lot of clothes on, and you kind of need a lot of clothes that time of year to stay warm. Yeah.
I think that I'm good this year. I think I'm good.
Dude, you guys are fucking mutants for staying alive in that cold weather, man.
I don't care if I don't have a deer, I'm out there. That's it. If I don't have a deer, I'm out there.
Don't have a choice.
I do have a choice, but I want a deer. I want
What's your plan? I know you want a deer pad.
hunting until he kills a deer.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna hunt whenever
Me
I
and Drew will be holding hands
chance
in the
to.
tree stand on January 31st.
We're gonna
I
get
know we could do it today, buddy.
with all the triple 3XL stuff on sale. We're gonna just wear one big bodysuit out there, and stay warm.
You can take turns.
You got all your tags?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got. Well, I don't have as many as Ryan, but I got the combo tag for the state, and I got a doe tag for up north at
Do you have a private land doe tag for
public land.
down here?
No, I don't have a doe
You don't
tag for down here.
For the farm?
I got a public
There's
land.
no deer on the farm.
Dude, the farm's a ghost town.
What'd you do?
I don't.
You shit in
It's
the
a
woods?
weird thing to happen,
I never saw a single one last year. Then you got
dude.
Macomb.
It's a
I put some corn. I put some shelled corn out in front of the cameras
Yeah.
just because the cameras are like dead, and I'm like,
I've been checking your batteries every day.
that's what. Yeah,
The card
Every
pulls
card-
I've
card-
had have
card.
been great.
Yeah.
it's crazy.
we had a shitload of coyotes come through the yard last night. I wonder if that's kind of
There's a couple coyotes out there, but it's not a.
It's just a weird area, man. It's just a
It
weird.
is super
It's
weird.
give or take,
area.
huh?
It's
Yeah,
popular.
but I've never seen it like this. I put some shelled corn out a week ago.
Last year was amazing.
And it didn't look touched. And there's like 2 scrubby little bucks and a couple does throughout a week. And I sat out there for a week. I didn't see a single deer, basically.
That's tough. I don't know if a lot of people appreciate that. I've done it a lot.
Yeah.
I've sat
Oh,
and not
it's
Had
seen
a
deer.
lot of
Listen to
time to
this.
think.
Yeah, about not seeing deer.
My-
That's what I'm saying. Just show me something brown. Just something brown.
Dude, listen to this shit. The day
like a fat
before I left
squirrel.
for deer camp, I got my saddle in before then because they were so backward. So I'm in my yard, in the woods. I'm climbing up a tree, practicing with it, trying to get somewhat familiar with this thing before I drive 300 miles up north to hunt with it for a week. And I'm fucking dicking around, clanging, banging, figuring out this and that. I get to the top of my steps. I'm about 18 feet up. I got it all sitting in there. I'm all of a sudden, it's pitch black. I'm out there with the floodlight, shining into the woods from the house. I can't see a goddamn thing I'm doing. Just banging everything, metal clanging. All of a sudden, I hear, ch-ch-ch-ch-ch. I stop moving. I look down. I think it was a doe. It looked like a large-bodied deer. No joke, straight directly underneath me, dude. I could dropped out of the saddle and rode it for 8 seconds. That one, and then 2 more, and they just
Through
stopped
your yard.
in my backyard, well, in the woods, like back behind the wood shed, and I'm just dicking around louder than shit. I'm cussing and swearing, banging metal, stinking like work, and these fucking
Stinking
Dude.
like work.
these 3 deer just came in like they just came walking underneath me like I was trespassing. And they just hung out there. I could have shot all 3 of them all day long.
Well, you were right close to your house, so they're used to smelling all that shit and hearing noise and stuff.
It was
you know?
wild, like how much noise I was making. And they just came in.
That's a lot different than being,
In the woods trying to kill
quarter
him.
mile off the road and up in the
Yeah.
pigeon, where they haven't heard anything except squirrels and chickadees.
Right,
For the
yeah.
last-
There's a lot of people tell me like,
But
I don't
yeah,
know
you
how
would have
could-
thought they would have been a little.
I've been having a lot of deer come through our woods the past year. We've had a lot coming through.
Yeah.
I just cannot believe how much racket I was making.
They just keep coming and coming and coming.
oh yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. You'll walk through like a metro park
Oh,
and how
yeah.
many deer you can get close to and see.
'Cause
And
they
people
know.
don't understand like how hard could it be to kill a deer in the metro park. When I'm walking my dog, we get within 10 feet of 20 of them every time we're out there. Like, well, as soon as you take a gun out in public land, see where these deer at on metro parks is where they're
Take
at.
one shot at
Yeah.
them. See how
Well, what was
quickly-
your story, Drew? You said you hunted 6 days straight or something like that, archery season,
No deer.
and you saw lots of deer all within rifle range, and then gun comes and you see.
Yeah, I hunted Saturday through Wednesday would have been bow hunting for me before, because rifle opened on Thursday,
Right.
and I saw deer the whole time. Within, they were 40 to 60 yards, which is a little bit of a poke up there because it's a lot of thick pines, and with the snow on all the trees and everything, you just didn't have the sight lines.
Yeah.
And then come rifle season, it was just like they just shut off for me. I was like, what the hell, man? I don't know. I only hunted. I sat at the same spot. I had like 2 hunts I went to trees that I had been in previously, but I was all over the place, new trees the whole time, and
Yeah.
just the pigeon humbles, man. I don't know how else to say it.
That it does.
It was a tough season for me. I had to come home and disconnect from everything for a couple days, but now I'm back. I'm back into it.
It was nice. Like I definitely don't have time or have been out in the woods hitting as hard as you guys. But dude, when that deer dropped, it was like the biggest weight off my shoulders.
Yeah.
Forget that first one, huh?
Oh my god.
This year I kind of put all my eggs in one basket for going up there.
Yeah.
It was I put a lot.
You skipped out on Ohio.
Skipped out on Ohio. I
You punk.
took a couple weekends at work that I normally went to take in, and I
Yep.
was just like, I hedged all my bets for that 7 days.
Yeah, you figured if you could put them consecutively together, that something was going to happen. You
Right?
know?
Yeah, like it's too much time to not have it happen. And I did take that one 50-yard shot at a deer, but
When I was with you,
yeah,
yeah, that was a poke.
With a bow?
yeah.
I got busted before I had the chance to that morning, but that was cool. That morning we both had a chance to shoot a deer. I just blew mine, and
Right.
you blew yours in a
Right.
different way. Yeah.
But I won't go into too many details. It'll be on the next podcast. But and then Meekoff and I had our epic adventure, and so there's a couple things I could have planned different. You know,
Yeah.
adjust the plan. And
You're always gonna screw something up.
yeah, you learn. You learn. You know.
Yeah.
But I mean, I just gotta grind it out now. It's time to put on the cold weather gear and buy a shitload of hand warmers and go sit in the tree and get blown around by the wind.
You know what's funny? I haven't really made use of those hand warmers in probably the last 3 years.
Dude, I've been
Dude.
They're amazing.
I
they
use
really
the
are.
shit out
And
of
for the
them.
price on them. I feel bad. I'm opening them up and then adding more to the landfill, but man, it's like life out there when it's cold.
Oh.
It's like a life in your pockets,
Oh yeah.
You can probably just throw them into the lake and they'll dissolve.
right?
Yeah.
Well, the new
I
got
just cut them open and let the birds
Dude,
eat
just-
whatever's in there.
Toss them in with your diaper genie.
no. I use exactly. Dude, all the diapers we throw away, I feel horrible. But
Scumbag.
I got a new hand warmer muff from FHF this season. It's like it's a Cordura shell with a what is that? The Permaloft.
Fleece?
Permaloft.
Primaloft.
Liner, and there's actually a mesh pocket inside of them
I mean,
that will hold a couple of those little chemical heaters,
Right.
so they don't roll around. They'll stay put. You put your hand in there, and that thing, if you leave it alone for a while, you put your hand in like, ooh. If I pull them out, like you put them in an oven, it gets so hot, you put your.
Yeah.
It's actually a really sweet muff.
Oh, I mean,
If you
that
want to
piece-
check them out, it's like a little ham muff.
I mean,
I
that
don't
piece
know if
of
I've ever had a muff I didn't appreciate. in
This
some
is a
fashion.
nice
Wow.
muff. It's the muff of muffs.
Come
you
on.
talking about that piece of rabbit foot you rub on your dick?
Yeah. Bomb, where'd you come from,
Dude, you know what? My kid calls a computer the pooter.
Pooter.
Yeah. And I tell him, because he'll go up there and just start banging on the keys. I'm like, don't touch my pooter. Like, you don't touch other people's pooters.
Oh man.
He's like, Daddy, is that your pooter?
Yeah, Daddy's pooter. Don't touch it.
True story.
True story.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
was,
even know what we were talking about now.
I was a little disheveled when I came home from camp this year, just from sitting a lot.
Dude, you guys hunt your dicks off, man.
I hunted pretty hard too. I feel like I traveled across the state. I mean, you went from your place up there, and
Yeah.
I went from your place to up there to across.
I
the
mean, it's
top
my
of
own
it.
fault. I'm kind of an asshole because I
Oh,
go.
you don't gotta
I,
tell me.
Stretch yourself real thin.
well, I go and
Andrew, asshole.
I'm hunting the pigeon. I'm hunting the pigeon like crazy. I go sit 2 sits at my cabin. I see 20 deer in 2 sits. And I just get back in the truck and drive up to the pigeon to just go get my ass kicked again, So it's like,
You do. I mean, right now that you had that selective cut or whatever done it.
yeah.
I mean,
there's
I
a
never
lot
hunted
of-
it before, but I think you told me that it's really improved the amount of deer.
There's a
coming
lot
through.
of deer on that property right now, but it's
That's the
I mean-
argument to be had about how, like, poisonously strong the good deer camp is.
I know. I can't get away
Yeah.
from going to deer camp. I
So-
just can't bring
That
myself to
public
do it.
land is really
ambience.
cool up there.
I know.
That was fun, man.
It is
yeah.
cool hunting up there, right?
God.
Jesus.
It was
Especially with
awesome.
snow on the ground.
I know.
Man, it was.
But that makes the hunting
Primo.
harder.
Right.
It does make the hunt.
It sucked energy. I mean, that sucked a whole shitload of energy out of everybody
Dude.
dealing with all that.
All that snow.
I was
Yeah.
tired as shit day
What
when
do we
I
have?
sat.
About 4 inches. Of snow?
Just the cold,
Yeah.
the snow,
4 inches of snow.
hiking around, your feet, they're just constantly
Wet.
I mean, you're up and down.
Wet and cold.
I wasn't planning on sitting all
slipping
day.
and sliding.
opening
Even
day.
around camp, you're a slipping and slide. The snow's freezing and thawing.
Everybody's
freezing
duck waddling.
and thawing.
Yeah, everybody was duck waddling through camp the whole time. man.
Yeah.
I think I burned
I ate
about
shit a couple times, I think.
Yeah. I wasn't planning on sitting all day opening day, and then I did not pack accordingly and sat 11 hours straight out there. And all I had was a bottle of water and a couple of those RX energy protein bar things. and I just would tough it out when I couldn't stop shivering. I'd reach in my pack and eat some, get some calories, and it'd last me maybe an hour or two.
That seemed like way out there on that little 2-track road.
Dude,
that
we were back
hunting.
there, man.
Yeah.
That was a cool
That's
spot.
a cool
That was a cool
though.
spot.
I like it back there
Yep.
a lot. It's so quiet, man.
Man.
It's
I
so
love
cool.
how
We
it
did
just
it, the guy
chokes
in the
down.
four-wheeler showed up.
What's that?
The guy in the show kind of ticked me off a little bit. The
When'd
guy
you see that?
he showed up. Me and you were talking. He shows up in his four-wheeler. He's a little half lit. He's
That
like,
was-
I shouldn't be on my four-wheeler right here.
I wasn't with you.
That was you
Yeah.
and I.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Was it him or you?
That was
that was
the
that night.
before opener.
Yeah,
Or-
it's kind of ticked me off a
Yeah,
little bit. Like,
what the hell?
dude,
You're not supposed to be out there on a quad.
no.
Yeah.
He was ripped up there. He's like, and I don't know, he's half in the bag. He's an old dude, and I guess he appreciates having a good time, but it's not legal, and I don't want to
He
hear.
was a cool enough guy to us, you know.
Oh, I'm saying, yeah, I'm not saying anything against the guy, but like
Just-
we're not ripping up and down with quads and stuff like that. And it's their hunting camp was right there. I guess I understand it. You know what I mean?
get it.
I understand
Makes
it.
The thing that sucks and pisses me off, we were so busy in our lives and we traveled that far up there.
I'm not gonna give some guy in his 60s a shit time for driving a 4-wheeler.
But it's illegal.
It is.
It's
I get it.
He's not supposed to be riding.
But
it.
I'm not
That's-
gonna call on him.
I didn't
That's
call.
all.
That's what I'm
no.
saying. I did not call on
I'm
him.
not
but
gonna feel bad if he gets
No.
a ticket, but I'm not going out of my way to make sure he gets one.
I like the guy. I just got a little ticked off after I thought about it after it happened because he came up and he was so nice talking to us.
Yeah.
yeah.
And I was like, oh, and then he kind of left. And I just remember the comment. I'm
And-
like, right.
The only reason he came and talked to us is because he wondered if we would be hunting over there.
And he wanted
on
to stay away
rifle
from
day, and
us.
he
I
wanted-
know.
So he's trying to be respectful,
Yeah.
like
Right.
of where we're gonna be on opening
Yeah.
morning. So it's like
That's
Okay.
cool.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I'm good with
that's.
that.
But I'm just saying.
It is.
It
You're
was
just
an
not.
afterthought.
You're right. You're not.
I don't run with quads.
It's
and
not
stuff
legal
like
to run quads
Right.
up there.
Don't bring that little red band
I
shit I
get
got
it.
up there and rip. You know?
Right. Yeah, I don't have a problem with a guy that's 60 years old using it to get out there deer hunting. But yeah, when the guys are ripping around there. And
yeah,
Right,
it's not
right.
like he had like some
When-
race.
It
It was,
car.
it was like the comment I thought. The comment I thought about that, like then everybody making that comment, like her, you know, and just doing it anyways. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's
I
when
just don't like it around.
That's when I lean. Oh, cool! This thing's nice. How many miles do you have? And I shut his fuel off. Let him figure it out later.
I didn't really get even. You know, I know that they're not legal up there, but it didn't even register as an issue to me when I saw the guy.
I guess more now that I've been paying more attention to it, you know, through the BHA and them getting them, you know, the quiet areas.
Don't blame
and
it on
stuff.
the beach.
No, it's not. I'm not blaming on the BHA. I'm just saying I'm more aware and tune it with it. And I just don't
Well, it's
want it around. You know.
It's
Right.
just nice, like growing up when we would
My
go
uncle
riding
goes
up
out
in
in the
Gladwin
woods
and
and
we'd be
never
on the
goes on a-
trails and you hear all those four wheelers just. It's
Yeah.
like a Harley blazing through the woods. It's just nice not to hear that.
A Harley blazing through the
Hey, we've
woods.
done that before.
They're
haven't
so
we?
loud. Those like old.
We've had Harleys blazing. through
Oh,
the woods
yeah.
on
Oh,
road
yeah,
trips.
yeah.
before.
We've been those guys. So.
People on their side by sides looking over at you in a Road King and about 6 inches of sand. Like, are you guys lost? No, just following that Ducati.
6 bears, 5 bikes.
Yeah, that was wild.
saw a bunch of bikers in the woods having sex.
Oh my god, those are wild days, man.
It's just it's just nice to hear peace and quiet.
It is. I'm not mad at that old man. I just want to clarify that. And he was a very nice, pleasant old man. I just don't.
Yeah.
I want quiet areas to stay quiet. So
I just want to hear the ringing.
I feel like
in my ears.
Am I getting the old man thing? What the?
You are. And I'm going to rip your tree stand down, too, while I'm at it.
That's illegal.
I've never touched anybody's root tree stands.
Any other gear, real quick? We should probably start getting this thing wrapped up. Any other gear? We mentioned Six Sight. Their
Six
stuff
Sight's
very
awesome.
much performed.
I
The
like.
6-site pants, they're soft shell fleece line pants I can't go without. And then I did get a merino gator, neck gator from First Light. And I'll never go back to a synthetic
I
neck gator ever again.
very much
own one, but-
want to try their arrow wool because I was annoyed a couple times this year about just how long my shit stayed wet.
Yeah.
When
It's
I sweated,
disgusting, man.
it just stays wet.
Yeah.
Polyester dries out real quick, but fuck it, you can't wear polyester up at deer camp. It'll,
It stinks.
Jesus Christ.
Dude, nothing's better than a polyester neck gator with a beard breathing through. Soft and wet.
Yeah. That's why the merino
Being sarcastic.
neck
get
gator
it.
still gets wet from, you're breathing
Yeah.
hot air into a cold environment. It's going to get condensation, but it
Yeah.
didn't ever get that stink, and it stayed
Oh.
relatively warm on
Yeah,
the face.
I was, like referring to base layers and underwear and stuff. Like polyester does not do
no.
well up in that environment.
Or cotton.
But
It
dries super fast, which is so nice.
Yeah.
Where the pure merino wool just doesn't dry very fast. But I want to try that Arrow wool from First Light.
Yeah, it's
I've
a
heard
synthetic blend.
that's kind of the best of both worlds. So I'll be putting some money.
You mix it up. You're balancing their negative.
Probably invest in a base layer from them next year and see how that works out. But the six site base layer,
yeah.
I wore that a lot working
early
around
season.
the yard, working out for doing activity stuff.
Is it a lighter weight, like a 175?
It's a lighter weight base
More
layer.
of a poly type of base layer. It's
It's
a Polar Tech, basically. It's
wool.
Tech.
It's
Yeah.
wool.
It's got a wool. Yes, it does have a wool blend.
It's
Yeah.
a
Wool
wool
blend.
Yeah, it's primarily
Yes.
wool.
Like sheep's wool?
A little bit of spandex or a little bit of nylon or
But
something.
I do feel like it's more of an active.
Yes, it's a thinner base layer.
So if you're gonna
versus
be-
a smart wool.
If you're going to be tracking or walking through the woods or whatever, anything, I don't think just, like you said, stationary, it's not as good.
Right.
Unless it's early season. Early season, I
But,
did wear it a couple times,
dude.
and it wasn't bad early season. When it's hot.
The smart wool base layer. That's
It's hard to mess with that stuff, dude.
Ugh.
I like that.
The only thing that sucks about it is when it gets wet, it stays wet.
And it stretches. It does get a little
But
sloppy, too.
as long as if you have your shit together and you don't get sweated up, you're fine.
Yeah.
It's only when you're overdressed and you kind of know. Like a lot of times this year is like, I'm going this far. Do I really want to have to like change my clothes when I get to the bottom of a tree, or can I just get dressed and make it there?
You pretty much have to change your
And-
clothes at the bottom.
And you
of the
kind
tree.
of already know in
gamble.
your head, you're like, you're going to be sweated up, but it's like, fuck, man, when you're freezing cold and it's 5 o'clock in the morning, you're just like, I don't feel like being,
No.
I'll just put everything on and I'll unzip everything and this and that. And no, it doesn't work. You got to sweat by the time you get there. That stuff doesn't dry out. So I'd like to try the Arrow wool.
It's kind of like welding. You start in an uncomfortable position and you move to a comfortable position.
There you
So
go.
you start off cold, but by the time you get there, you're very comfortable. Like you're taking your hat off. You can't even wear a
Right.
ball cap anymore when you get out your tree stand. Then you get there settled in.
Right.
Wait 20 minutes, half an hour. When that sweat evaporates and it's giving off more heat as it's evaporating, and you're
But I got my
Yeah.
I got my smart wools on right now. I wear these things all the time. And you want to talk about if you're just going to be lounging around the house.
yeah.
Dude, so nice.
Son of a bitch. Smart wool, bottom and top.
Dude,
I go out in my garage and I shoot my bow in my smart wool base layer
100%.
with the heater going.
Dude, my neighbors are probably like, what the fuck?
dude, they're awesome.
Because I'll just be strolling straight around my yard. this time of
wearing your
year.
long johns.
Wearing my long johns, dude.
Hey, neighbor.
Yeah.
Dude, does it look
Now
like
you
a-
can say, don't get used to it. It won't be here.
Don't worry, it's tucked up in the waistband.
Now you,
Oh, no.
now you see why all those guys hung out in their long underwear in the Cabela's ad catalog commercials?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what fucking dudes sit around
On the
there?
front porch drinking coffee in their long
And
johns.
now I'm that guy.
Yeah. Look at me.
Son of a bitch. Sitting there drinking my coffee in my long johns.
Hey, Ken,
Telling
can
my
you pass
kid to
that
pick
decaf?
up his toys. Pick that shit up. Wear those things all the time.
I want to try. I think First Light has a 330 weight.
330.
Yeah, they
weight.
call
Yeah.
it like the
Ooh.
furnace.
That's
or
what I
something.
need, man.
Yeah, that would be. It'd be like
You
burning.
are a cold-blooded band. You
I am.
just can't handle that.
Can't
weather.
handle it.
You
Can't
need a
do it.
snuggle
Fucking hate the cold
or a nice blind.
with a passion.
Blind with a heater, huh?
Blind with a heater. I think we should do some group hunt. We should do a group hunt podcast one night.
I
Record a
would
podcast
love to do
That
in
would
that
be
new
pretty
300. We
funny.
could We could fit in that 300.
Yeah,
the
we could.
four of us.
For sure, we could do a.
Grab a couple
I-
muzzleloaders.
I
and-
wouldn't mind doing a
got 'em.
hunt from that. I thought about doing a squirrel hunt from
I
one
got
of
that
them
brick
too.
house.
doing a podcast.
Yeah,
I got
Yeah,
that Ameristep
that would be
brick house.
100%.
Dude, that would be fun to do a squirrel
Shit,
hunt
yeah.
podcast.
That thing I'm telling you is like
Do it
7
at
foot tall.
That's what I was thinking too.
Yeah.
There's one coming.
That'd be awesome.
Go get him.
We could do that late
It'd be
season.
fun as hell.
Squirrel Palooza.
We're gonna need a
definitely-
place to record a podcast.
Dude, 2.5 hours. Let's wrap this thing up, man.
Well, 100 episodes.
What would we
man.
say? We were going to mention a couple different pieces of gear. We didn't get any farther than base layers.
I've been running Wild Edge steps mostly this season.
I like them a
I
whole
feel
lot.
like we need to really wait for the season to end to really go in depth.
No,
I
we
think
can
we've
we can
tested
do
them out
that.
enough
I just
by now.
I
That
just
Kestrel
like
saddle,
just kind of
amazing.
up to nothing detailed, just real quick.
Yeah.
All right.
I like the Wild Edge steps.
Wild
a
Edge
lot
steps
too.
packed nice in my bag. I'm using that Mystery Ranch Treehouse this
I
season,
will
and
say
I do like
with
it.
snow, if you got snow on your boots, I like the XOP step better. I've had my boots move around a little bit on them Wild Edge steps.
Really?
Yep.
You can kind of lock your lug in those. I feel like though, you know what I mean? Because it's the way it's got that short little bar.
You can't
can
put
stick
your
almost,
toe though all the way, and
You
you've
can't,
got
but
your
it-
foot like sideways a little bit.
but it gives you like a dish almost the way it's shaped. I don't know.
Yeah, I like them a whole lot, but with the snow, with a bunch of snow on
You
my
like your
boots,
sticks?
I found myself slipping. Just nothing crazy, but I was just like, oh, my foot moved. Where I was like, I'd
Enough to
prefer that my
rattle your
Yeah.
confidence a little.
prefer
climbing
that my
the tree.
foot didn't move. You know what I mean? Whereas with the XOP steps, they have a very deep groove in the traction thing on the
Yes.
step,
Yep.
and it's a big step, and it's kicked off the tree quite a bit. They're awesome.
I can tell you the one thing because this season I haven't hunted with my lone wolf at all. I bought brand new last year and got set up the way I liked it because I've been running the Wild Edge steps primarily and the Kestrel. But the one thing I've noticed with the lone wolf steps are the sometimes when you set them down, I've had them pop up on me, very rarely, but they've sprung back up. And if I haven't set them quite right and tight enough in the tree, I've had them kind of slide off and maybe balance on that point. You know, but it was my own fault, you know, not getting it locked in good enough. But what I found was running that Mystery Ranch,
Yeah, treehouse.
the treehouse. This last hunt, I found the best way to carry it, and it would probably be with any backpack. I had my backpack on, which has an internal frame, that Mystery Ranch treehouse, and then I put the Wild Edge steps right on the back part.
Yeah, you want your weight closest
Yep,
to the.
I had
back.
it right on there, and I put my Kestrel, which is, you know, doesn't weigh
2 pounds,
shit.
3
Well,
pounds.
even maybe 5 pounds with all the
Rigging.
rope and rigging piled up on top of that, and then closed. You know, my backpack. It was the easiest weight to carry through the woods
I believe
Those-
that.
that I've ever carried, and very compact. I love hunting
Yeah.
out of a tree saddle, and I love those steps. It's really a really good mobile setup.
I loved my steps. I'm 100% sold on those. That setup I did.
Mm-hmm.
It was great working with those things.
You're running sticks.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
running some sticks
The Hawk sticks, are they?
I absolutely love them. The Hawk Helium,
with
3 sticks.
rope.
And you did a rope mod on them?
I did the Lone Wolf Versa button rope mod. I ditched the steel bracket and the buckle and straps that come with the Hawk sticks. When you get rid of those on a 3-pack, you lose about 1.5 pounds.
Total after replacing with the ropes.
Yeah.
And the Versa button.
You put a Lone Wolf Versa button on and an 8mm. It has to be 8mm accessory cord, so that the Versa button cinches it down and locks it in. And it's nice. It's easy. No
Bites on itself as you do that loop.
Yep.
Yep.
No dicking around with buckles or anything. And I put I think probably a 32-inch
But you could do as long.
aider on the bottom of the step, and I did a Cobra weave stirrup in there, and I loved it.
What I like about that though too is if you wanted to with his steps, I've run into it where with the Lone Wolf straps, Wild Edge ropes, there's trees that are real big, real girthy
Yeah.
at the base that I can't get around. And if you made your own rope ones with those 8mm rope, you just tie that knot on there, and you can make that as long as you want. You can get around them trees that have that 3-foot diameter. That might be the best tree. I hate that's the one thing that's come up, not a whole bunch in my hunting, but when you hit a perfect tree in an area that's too big and you can't get your setup up the tree,
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole
bums
lot.
you out.
I need to put my bottom step. I did 6-foot lengths on all my ropes. I need to make my bottom step or stick
like 8-foot.
8-footer.
Yeah.
Because I barely got up in the tree that morning that I shot my deer out of.
Was it how big of a diameter was it? 2 foot?
Probably 2 foot, yeah.
Yeah, if you could just have your first one or the second of your sticks, because you could do that with your Lone Wolf sticks too, or whatever. First 2 sticks, 8 foot or 10 foot. You know.
But I did that with and I made a platform on a Lone Wolf seat with XOP standoffs and it was awesome having a platform to stand on.
I do like how you mixed every single thing out there.
Yeah.
He really did.
Hawk Helium sticks, Lone Wolf Versa button, Lone Wolf seat, XOP standoffs, Arrow Hunter, Kestrel.
Very comfortable.
Dude, it was
Very comfortable way to hunt.
I've been a little bitch about sitting in hang-on stands my whole life. My back kills, and I sat almost 11 hours straight in that tree saddle the first day, which is unspoken.
Yeah, I feel like you're a whole new hunter now.
You can
because I'm comfortable for a fucking change.
You can shift your weight so
yeah,
many
but that's
different
a
ways
pretty
with that.
that's a pretty hardcore setup that you're running.
Yeah.
Fucking got out in a
but it's
machine
easy.
shop and made your own shit and
Yeah,
I
everything's DIY. He's got a lot of DIY stuff on there. And a lot of
Right.
stuff I've seen.
yeah,
a
it's
year
all
ago,
mods and custom and shit.
Right.
You're like,
You watch, like,
talking to
DIY
this guy at
hunter.
the gas station, He's
And it
like,
all-
yeah, I got a 16-foot ladder stand. And Bomber's like, yeah, I got rope mods on my Hawk stands, verse buttons,
Yeah, made myself a lone wolf stand out of the seat.
Yeah.
Stand off onto the rope from the other company, wrapped it around the tree.
Dude,
Shot the buck right in the heart.
it was awesome. It all packed inside
Twice.
that little Mr. Ranch pack, and I don't even think it weighed maybe.
You guys like those treehouse packs?
Yeah, I
They're
like.
nice. I'm trying to figure out what I'd want to change about it.
It needs
I'm
to be
having-
longer. It's too short.
I think
That was her
longer.
complaint.
Yeah,
I
always.
think a little bit deeper where you can compress it
Yeah.
a little bit and maybe a little bit more molly loops too even. And the pockets down low, I don't like that they're tapered. If they're straight across, they'd be better.
Yeah,
But overall,
it was comfortable.
Overall, I didn't drop a lot of shit because the way it's set up, it's got a stiff frame on the back with two zippers that come up the side. And then it's got a flap that sticks over the top. Well, the flap that sticks over the top's got a zipper on the outside.
move your mic up just to see here.
A zipper on the outside. But when you close that, you can flip it over, and then the zipper on the inside's the top of that zipper from the outside. So then you got the pocket flipped up outside so nothing falls out. And then you can unzip the whole sides of the bag, the whole vertical side of the bag, and the whole thing will tilt forward and open up. So you can shove your puffies and stuff in there or whatever you need to throw in there. And then there's deep pockets, 3 of them, that run on each side of the bag and 1 on the back. Or 2 on the back. There might be 2 on the back and on each side or
yeah,
something.
one on each side. You could put a rifle.
4 pockets in there. So you can stick like grunt tubes and they're like deeper pockets, but the whole thing opens up in a way that stuff won't fall out of the bag.
Those compression straps on the back were nice. Like I put my
Sticks on there.
my
and stuff.
platform, and then
There's 2 straps that go across.
yeah, those night ice ties, those silicone wrapped night ice ties. Those things are badass. I use those to lock all my sticks together, and I just laid it on top and cinched it down. Dude, nothing moved, nothing clanged. It was comfortable.
I
What
use
are they?
those too. I use those. Night eyes. It's like a rubber. It's like I said, silicone
it's
wrapped
It's a
wire.
silicone. Yeah, it's a silicone.
It's basically
coated
like a
wire.
12 gauge wire.
Yes.
Yeah, but it
solid
has-
strand wire.
It's got great memory. It's
Like-
pretty much like a
That thing on the fridge door.
That's exactly what it is. That's night eyes.
yeah, it's like a garbage bag tie on crack.
Yeah,
know,
they're awesome. You get different lengths of them.
I use a couple of them
Dude,
to
that-
secure my lone wolf stuff.
Yeah, very, very effective. Different,
Hmm.
shit you could do to use it with. But yeah, I could stack my sticks and lock it down with the night eyes, and everything was just tight, secure. That's ducking and diving through all that timber and brush to do totally comfortable. Drug a deer out carrying everything on my pack.
Well, I was doing it kind of backwards this season. Remember, I told you I put the Wild Edge steps on the inside now, closer to my spine. On the outside, beginning of the season, I put it on the outside, strapped to those cinched down straps, so my weight is farthest away from my back as
Yeah,
possible.
you don't want that.
I didn't even realize what I was doing. I was just figuring, it's a quick, easy way. It's like, I don't know, whatever. I wasn't thinking, I guess.
It's like putting the fat kid on the outside of the
Right.
teeter-totter.
But now what I do is that cinch straps, I fold up my puffy coat and my extra base layers because it's my lightest stuff, and I'll cinch that on the far outside. And then during gun season, I'll do my vest. I'll wear an orange hat, and I'll do my vest. I'll wrap it around the backpack, and it'll be the big part of the vest will be on the back side of that gray. I have the gray treehouse backpack, but that's on the outside.
Yeah.
So that's one thing they could change about it. I think any hunting backpack should have a pull-out orange rain cover. Alps does it, like an orange rain cover. So during gun season, you can throw it over your backpack, and it's rain covers, but it's orange for walking through the woods. Or like a flag, or at least a flag you can pull out
Yeah,
on
A
the
lot-
back
I'm
side.
sure
Like a
they
turkey
sell
vest.
one.
Yes, I think every hunting backpack should have an orange
I'm
pull-out.
sure.
So you always have that.
I would
for
be
your backpack.
very surprised if Mystery Ranch didn't sell one on their website that you could buy.
They might. but I don't know.
You're saying everyone should have that.
I think every
Yeah.
hunting backpack
It's
should.
not a bad
Like
idea.
how they
It
ship-
tucks
I'm not
in.
against that.
It's a pocket. You tuck it in. You can pull a flag out and then.
Yep.
Like
cinch
how they
it down.
ship you out like a harness in every tree stand you buy. You know, at least put like a pocket where you unzip and there's an orange flag in there you can pull out.
Mhm. Just for your backpack,
Yeah.
for cover your back.
Back-
I
Cover your
guess
back.
for most.
Hey,
'Cause they're
Jimmy.
camo.
Nice new backpack.
If you think about it, though, those backpack companies are tailoring to a wide.
Yeah, I mean they're tree
variety
stand
of
backpacks.
people.
You don't need
and stuff.
orange out west.
I'm just
actually.
saying. I'm just trying to there's not a lot I would change about it. It's a great backpack.
It needs to be, for my monkey ass, it needs to be taller because I felt like it was.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because when
Way too small.
Yes.
For his profile.
For
Yeah.
him, yeah. For me, it's not as bad.
And they don't have a size.
they
well,
have
there's sizing because
yeah they have adjustable. I adjusted it all the
It'll
way and it
separate
still
the
didn't
Velcro.
fit me. It was just
Right, but it's
just
kind
way-
of one size fits all. Right? They don't on their site.
It's
they
not
don't-
customized
Yeah.
for the. It's not like a Kafari where you build it for yourself.
Right.
Where it's
Right,
built for
right.
your exact frame. and
But
all.
if
It's
you're like-
custom made.
If you're a normal human.
Yeah, if you're a normal human and you're a little fucker 5'4" to 6 foot, then it'd fit you all right.
Right.
Oh fucker.
But the one thing I forgot about this season is buying those. I went with those fast hiking boots, waterproof Gore-Tex hiking boots, leather, and with the First Light Rambler gaiters, boot gaiters, and that stuff. Till it gets really cold, it just real cold. Maybe I wasn't doing it right, but before it got really cold, the most comfortable walking out and setting up in that thing, and more agile. You know, because I got my smaller. You know, I got more of my. I can hop on top of logs and move around better than the big knee boots. But late season,
Yeah.
I still switched back to my well insulated knee high boots, especially
Yeah.
because
It
of how
was-
wet it was too.
It was
But-
nice not being in knee boots this season.
I did hunt a lot in those, and it helped out traveling more ground.
How was your pack? What do you think of that thing now after hunting with it for a while?
The Kafaru.
You got the Eastern Rock.
Yeah, I got the Eastern Rock and Kafaru duplex frame.
Mm-hmm.
And the way I run it is I strap my Lone Wolf onto my frame, and then I basically strap my Eastern Rock onto my stand.
The lighter part on the.
Yeah, and the way I do it, the ruck, I can put my grunt tube and everything in there. And I'll have like my lineman belt and stuff in that, water, whatever, sandwich for the day. And then I will put my insulating layers inside that Eastern Ruck because it's a big pocket. And then throw that all on my back, And I was running the stick talons. So I have my 4 Lone Wolf sticks sitting on the outside of my platform. And that ruck sits perfect right in between them.
Well, the nice thing too, again, with the putting the two stacked on top of each other, it's closer to your spine, to the center.
Well, I
And then
have them
stacking them
off.
straight off the back.
I have them offset. Like they're out.
But
they're
he's
running
still
out.
saying it's closer to your back.
Right.
Instead of
versus hanging
doing
farther.
4 deep, or
Right.
you're just
Right.
going wide.
Right.
I'm starting to learn things that I guess you're so dumb or you don't think about. Realize this season carrying a lot of weight when you're trying to. Because with mobile hunting, you think more about how you're managing your comfort carrying the load.
Right.
I mean, really,
Oh yeah.
I'm always trying
Oh,
to figure out a better way to
trust
carry
me,
my
kid.
load.
And when I got that pack, at first, the first couple times I used it, I was like, I don't know. I don't know if this is cutting it,
Because you're not.
Because it's there's a price tag on those things, man. It's an expensive.
I want
setup.
one. I'd have one if I could afford it.
But once I used it a handful of times and those pads broke in and everything just I got it sized right, everything started to fit right. I couldn't. I mean, I know I could go back to not using it, but I don't want to. It's a comfy way to carry that stand and put a lot of miles on with that stand on my back this year. So it's a good setup. There's a couple pictures on the Deer Hunter Podcast Instagram. There might be some on Facebook, and
the way
hopefully
that's set up. I mean, it looks like
it's a legit way to carry.
rides. Nice.
Yeah, and then I got the Kafaru gun bearer. It's a thing that goes on the waist belt of
That's
your
sweet.
pack where the stock of the rifle sits in that.
That's sweet.
And then there's a little strap that goes on your shoulder strap that the barrel runs through, and it keeps your rifle pointed at like a 45-degree angle away from your body. And all you got to do is grab this little strap on your shoulder. You just rip that strap, the rifle falls right into your hand. You can shoulder that thing so fast.
You look like you're
badass.
I like that. I like
walking
you're
around.
protecting the scope and the gun up here.
Yeah,
and
it's
strapping
kinda-
it to the back of your backpack because I kind of worry about strapping a gun.
Well, you don't
the
have.
scope,
You're not
and I don't
hunting
know.
if your backpack. If your gun's on your backpack, you're not hunting.
Oh, right, exactly.
And, like, it
that's only
keeps-
good coming in from your stand at night.
It keeps your
Right.
scope kind of tucked in your armpit a little bit, so
Yeah.
when you're breaking brush, you can use your forearms to keep shit
You
away.
like
Yeah.
that thing a whole lot, huh?
Oh man, I can't.
Dude,
Because you don't
Imagine.
carry
That
like
rigged up on your 94 was badass. Dude.
Yeah.
You looked like you were running point.
Yeah, when I had my Winchester 94,
Yeah,
little 30-30 strapped into that thing with the iron sights.
sweet,
Yeah, you
nice little brush.
you
gun.
could wage war with that thing.
Oh yeah.
I do like the Kafaru stuff, man.
Yeah.
It's tougher than.
Well, that's a tactical gunsling. I put it on a hunting pack, and dude, I mean, what do you think? A second to get that gun shouldered? You pull that strap.
So you
it
think
falls-
that's
just as-
something that Snyder it's a military?
Yeah, it's for their tactical line of packs for sure, and it just works so good they started marketing it towards the hunting too.
Yeah, you
I like to have a nice one for a bow.
I like that about those guys that they make the military stuff.
Yeah,
It's fucking cool, man.
it is. It's slick setup.
I kind of wanted to like get into that with Snyder but I don't think he's like.
They don't
super-
talk about that.
Yeah,
much.
he's not super comfortable talking about like his military stuff and this and that.
Yeah.
He's kind of like I've heard guys bring it up on podcasts, and he's like, yeah. You could tell he wants to just get on to like the hunting and the
Right.
next subject or whatever. But they do it. I mean,
was he in?
big military orders. Yeah, it was. I don't know if he's in the Army or the Marines.
Yeah.
And every son of a bitch and part of that Kafaru pack says "Made in the USA" on it, right down to every buckle, zipper, everything.
Dude, there is it a modified Molly or is it the PAL system, the hook and loop securing system for all your pouches?
They
That is a
use,
molly.
Is it?
I forget what they call it.
I don't know what the difference is.
Well, the traditional Molly is like a Velcro or button strap that goes through the loop. You got the little metal tab that you tuck through the loop and
Yeah.
it locks itself in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it is.
Yeah. That setup's badass.
Fuck, it's
Because
It's very modular.
it's
you can do a lot of different-
unbelievably like it's limitless
yeah,
as
because
far as how you want to customize your stuff.
as part of my Franken system, I put a tethered accessory pouch on my Kestrel, and it had the same
Yeah.
hook and loop attachment as
Nice.
Kafaru, and I loved it. It's so simple. It's simple and quiet.
That's definitely one thing I want to get up on the YouTube page is a video of that, how I was running that
Yeah,
Kafaru with the
we-
rock. Because I mean, it took me all season to finally iron out how to carry all that shit on that pack, and I could, if anybody's interested in going that route, I could save them about 3 weeks of heartache.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Like we needed to get a couple of those up because I feel like it would do justice
Yeah.
for people that haven't. I mean, now the difference.
I
and
heard us talking about it all
about
season.
carrying a tree stand and sticks or whatever you're hunting setup on your back,
Right.
or just a cheap backpack. But boy, oh boy, man, when you get a frame that's built for you,
Yeah, it's
it doesn't.
different.
You can just.
It's a different world. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like
It is.
driving an economy car and
But it's-
climbing in a Porsche or something.
And it's
you know?
it's an initial investment and it's expensive, but I don't know why it hasn't caught on because you don't rebuy it every year. You buy it once and you like have it. I mean, provided that you're 25 or older,
right.
you're pretty much where you are.
Well, I mean, I get why people don't do it right off the bat. I mean, if you drop, what's a mobile hunting setup? A lone wolf stick,
$400.
450
$500
bucks. Then you're gonna go buy, a $370 frame. I mean, you're getting up to $1,000 for your first year of mobile hunting.
No, I'm not saying your first year, but I just think in the Midwest in general,
Yeah.
it's not like a.
It's
Well,
not
the
a
thing-
concept we've embraced, I feel like.
The thing is, too, is like I
It's
know.
just the easiest way, the most comfortable way to do it. And here's the thing that I've realized that I really like about it. The stuff is all on there. It doesn't move around. It's
Yeah.
quiet. Doesn't move around. And your hands free. You're not carrying a jacket under your arm or carrying a camera case in your hand.
You're not dicky mowing it out.
You don't have, your camera. I mean, if you're hunting with a camera too, your camera gear, your camera arm, everything, boom, locked in solid. It is like physically a part of you, and you're hunting. Like, you're super comfortable. the weight is distributed correctly, you're hunting the second you step into the woods. Hunting to your spot, hunting out of your spot.
I mean, we were fairly stealthily spot stalk hunting in and out with
35, 40 pounds of gear on our back.
Damn.
Damn.
Ready to shoot, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, you're fucking hunting. That's the big thing that I realized about it is a couple times where I'm like, I'm just going here or there. I don't need the...
You get complacent.
Yeah, and I'm carrying this and this, and then something happens, and it's like...
I've had my
And I
rifle
started
out.
realizing that when I'm walking around out there with that thing on my back, all situated, cinched down, I can move the weight around. You get a hot spot in the straps. You can just loosen this, tighten this, move the hot spot. You know what I mean? Distribute the weight differently, and you're focused on your task at hand versus fucking around with your gear or this is coming loose or this or that. It's just it's an amazing system and a way to hunt. And I think you mix like that Western style of backpack hunting with the mobile hunting. I know it doesn't apply to if you're, riding out on a buggy and getting into a box blind, or if you're just walking out.
But if you're hiking to hunt,
dude, if you're mobile hunting, holy shit, is there value in like a frame that fits you and a compression system? That's the big part of it, right? Being able to tie the stuff down, make it solid, make it not move, make it not make noise.
Right.
You want to wrap it up in a tarp and secure it down with
If there's
a short belt.
one complaint I have with Kafaru stuff, it's that and I don't know how you get around it because you can't complain about the noise and then pride the durability. The durability is amazing, but that Cordura is not the quietest thing when you're walking through, underbrush and shit. It's like you get the little pickers, and then I call them thwackers. Now the little, underbrush stuff that whack, whack, whack.
Yeah, it sounds like a snare drum.
It sounds. Yeah,
It's a
you
whip.
hit one of
It's
those
a whip.
Cordura backpacks, or I even had a doe. I got probably 15 yards from her. She jumped up out of her bed. She heard me. I think she was passed out sleeping, because she jumped up right in front of me. She bounded like 5 yards and then started looking all around. But I was in the 6-Sight Smith River hoodie. I had the hood up, the whole thing, dude, in the ferns and the pines and
those
stuff.
hoods
I'm
are
like,
pretty nice on that.
you're never gonna see me.
Yeah.
Yeah, no way in hell in that pattern. And she's looking around. I mean, she had heard me come in there. I scared the shit out of her. About stepped on her. And finally, a big drip of water from melting snow melted off a pine tree. I don't know how high up it was, but it hit that Cordura, and it was like, thwop, and she's like, gone, like an explosion.
You just
And
sound
I
like
was
George
like,
Costanza in a Gore-Tex jacket.
So it'd be sweet if they had some type of like fleece, like you were saying, like a rain cover. If they had some type of like a fleece or a brushed polyester cover that you could pull over that, like for whitetail hunting, I think it would be sweet. And if you put that in between that and your compression straps, now your stand's not rubbing directly on your pack,
Yeah. I mean, I had my stand mounted right on my frame, and then my pack mounted to my stand, so that wasn't an issue for me. I had the stand as close as possible to my back on my setup.
Right.
But
But still, if you're trying to, I mean, that would be the only complaint, is that it adds noise as you're walking through. But I feel like I'm hunting.
dude, you're carrying a
I
tree
understand
stand on
that.
your back. You're not
But I'm saying if
You're not gonna be silent.
if
out
you
there.
wanted to make an improvement
Yeah.
on it, if you had a brushed polyester shell that you
After
could throw
hunting-
over that thing,
hunting up north, it's not that big of a deal. But after hunting in Ohio, I'd rather have the durability and a little extra noise on the walk-in.
so it's just your environment.
Yeah, because shit gets tore up hunting in the briars.
No,
and
I know,
stuff,
and that's
so
why I'm saying you can't complain about one, because that Cordura
it's tough.
it's amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah, we kicked the shit out of that stuff this year, and
yeah.
it doesn't even show signs of wearing.
No,
They've
well,
repelled farts in my truck pretty good.
It's like a Carhartt jacket.
I've got some wear on it, but nothing bad. Nothing that
You're like breaking it in though, like you
Right.
said about breaking in this. It's like breaking in a Carhartt jacket.
yeah
Takes a couple years, like get her all good and broke in, And I feel like that's how the Kafaru stuff probably
Yeah.
is. You could.
And that system, now that I have the pack and the frame, like the pack that I have is good for bow hunting and a day pack and whatnot. But like, say I want to go out west in a couple years, I'm already invested in the pack frame. So now I just have to go buy the bag to strap on it, which,
Nice to have a system that you can.
yeah. The versatility of the pack frame is undeniable.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Very nice. You said
Yeah, I like my the FHF stuff is Cordura, and the Bino bag I have.
Yeah, those
Yep.
look nice. I like those.
They're it's a nice setup. And the other thing too I really like I run this season is using that Snudo Traverse.
Oh god,
It's kind of sweet.
those things are
They are
amazing,
cool.
man.
For very very basic, like you're not gonna look at topo maps on it and be able to plan hunt.
Just
It's
for-
not
No,
for
but
that.
for general
just for getting your ass
navigation.
out of the woods.
Mark your truck, and when you get to your stand and you need your direction back, it'll keep you going that way. Or you can record your track out there and you can go right back over it.
It's a breadcrumb GPS type deal.
You have to charge it. Something you need to have something to charge it with. If you're using it for that purpose, like almost every day, especially in the cold.
I was thinking about getting one of those. I was gonna talk to you guys about those. See how you liked them.
They're pretty sweet. I haven't used the Garmin version, but the Traverse is made for hunting. It
It's
actually
a pretty
has
slick looking watch too. I wear it out on
it has
the town
probably-
every once in a
Yeah,
while.
for sure.
it has about 30 different markers you can use for point of interest, POIs, and then tracks, moon phases, barometer. It'll let you know if it's rising or falling, storm warnings, time. What else? I said moon phases.
It is a good looking watch. I feel like
Yeah.
you got a better chance as a young guy getting laid wearing that thing than an Iowa,
Yeah,
one of them Apple watches or something.
It looks like
a
military grade. They
Shinola or
look
some
military.
cheese ball city watch.
Yeah, it is a man.
That with my phone, having both those things,
yeah.
At least get a watch that has a purpose.
Right.
You don't really need a
And it
watch to
actually
tell time anymore.
and it sends. You'll
Got a
get your
phone,
text message.
but-
The other nice thing too, when you're
Well-
in the tree stand, you get your phone tucked away somewhere warm.
Yeah.
It'll let you know your text messages and your phone calls. So when you're in the tree stand and your phone buzzes in your pocket, and you're like, should I check it or should I not check it? Who it is? Is one of my buddies. You can look on there right away to see. Oh, it's it's a bullshit.
that is?
Yeah. I'll get back to this person later.
When you're in the tree stand, you're like, "Who that is?"
What up, yo?
What
You
up,
can't
now?
respond to nothing, but you can see that you get the
Right.
notifications and all that.
No, I'm in the tree stand, man.
oh, it's just the wife. Ignore that one.
Yeah.
I
When will
shut-
you be in from the woods? And it's like 5:30 in the
Dark
afternoon.
30. I'll be in at dark 30.
Yeah.
I shut my phone off opening day and had it off the whole time because I don't know what happened. That cold weather dude just instantly took me down to 1%, so I shut it off and just
Dude, it was
sat
so
there
cold.
with my thoughts for 10 and a half hours. I had my wristwatch, so I'd be able to check what time it was, but that was, first
About it.
time in a while I've had just nothing.
My phone, actually, I have a Milwaukee adapter for those 18-volt batteries, and it has the USB to charge my phone. My phone, it was so cold, my phone would not even take a charge, and it
was
would just
cold.
die.
No shit.
Yeah, I actually lost it up in Traverse City out on the federal land, and I had to find it the next day. It sat out overnight.
Your phone?
I had to use a compass. My watch died, my phone died, and I was way out on some federal land, and I had to bust down, and my phone, I got one of those. It's stupid. I'll never get another big phone again. I got one of those pluses, or whatever, the bigger version, or the phablet, or whatever it is.
I got one. I like it a whole lot.
Well, I found out I really don't need it, and I like the smaller one. But this
So
is one of
she
the
said.
reasons I don't like it was when I went to switch to my compass, I put that phone in my pocket, and it just can't fit all the way in my pocket. And when I was walking,
fucking
it
big.
flopped out. And I didn't notice because I'm going to my compass, and my compass isn't the best way. It's kind of fiddle fuck with it to get it to settle out, but it will, it'll settle out on where your true north is, or
Right.
whatever, magnetic north. And I had to go east, and I went back, and we got down the road. I realized I was missing, went back, tracked over my footsteps in the dark because
Did
it
you
was
find your
snowy.
GPS?
I didn't find it, and then I went back. The next day, I went out and found it, right in my footsteps. But yeah.
Like your
What is-
notepad at scouting at the in-fault count. I picked that fucker up like 5 times.
My uncle lost a pair of gloves. We found his gloves. I lost a glove out there. We found that. We found everything we lost. We lost a shit ton of stuff, but We won't get into that. That was a whole long story.
Yeah, we'll
Hunting
avoid
with the
that.
uncle and the brother. It was a good time. But, 100 episodes, man.
Yeah,
Cool.
it happened.
I had a lot of fun.
We did it.
I had an awesome time.
And we've got about 40 days left of the season or so.
Yeah.
40-plus days of hunting season left for us in this area.
Oh, yeah.
In
So
hibernation.
You'll hear more about our stories.
And we were talking about when we started recording this, before we started recording this, about getting hotel rooms.
Yeah.
In Grand Rapids. We might try to get, we're going to look into maybe like a block.
Mm-hmm.
A block of rooms, right, in Grand Rapids.
So
Did you
anybody's
touch on the
interested.
whole subject of that at all?
Well, I was just going to, kind of wrap up with the fact that today I sat down and the premiere of the film, you are now able to go and buy tickets for that. If you go to deerhunterpodcast.com, on the webpage, there will be something on the front page that says, buy tickets
What's the cost of tickets?
for the forest. $25
All right.
plus whatever the. So we're having the event at a theater.
Mm-hmm.
The theater uses a third party hosting site to do
Collect
the
money and all that.
Yeah, collect the money, sell the tickets and all that. So the ticket price is $25 plus that site's fee. So I think it ends up being like $28
Nice.
for a ticket.
Mm-hmm.
And the theater has a bar in it.
BHA is going to be there.
Well, there's going to be the representatives, the people from the companies that helped us out with the film. So Cody D'Acquisto, XOP, those guys will be there. Chad, all those guys from Exodus. Potentially Snyder will be there because Kafaru, he's coming in that day to do the traditional expo. On that Saturday, he's doing that seminar.
Mm-hmm.
And that night is the film. It's like 30 or 45 minutes from there. So I talked to him today. He's kind of rolling with a couple other guys that he's traveling to the show with.
Mm-hmm.
So, but he said there's a chance that they're going to come there.
Let me talk to him.
Yeah, he's probably going to go the other direction. I'll stay in my hotel room, bud. That guy that called me creeped me out. I was going to come, huh? And then, yeah, everybody from BHA, it'll be the first opportunity for like a Deer Hunter podcast meetup.
Yeah. It's almost going to be like a BHA pint night in a way.
So
you know?
I'm mentioning it on here first because I'm fairly confident that we're going to sell the place out relatively quickly. There's 200 seats. The event, the space has a capacity of 325, but the film is about an hour. So we want people to be able to sit down, have
Be
a seat,
comfortable.
be able to watch it. So we capped the tickets at 200.
Is that
'cause
for the
that's
seating?
what the girl said, yeah, for the seating, because it's actual theater.
Mm.
So 200 tickets. I'm pretty confident we'll sell the whole thing out relatively quickly, but I want all the podcast listeners to get first cracks at it. So go on our website. You will see on there, it'll say the Forest Premiere. You click on there, it'll take you to a link where you can go and buy your ticket, and it's $25. And the doors open at 6. There's a bar inside there.
Movie's going to play around what time?
I think we'll play the movie probably 8 o'clock. So the movie will run from like 8 to 9. So that'll give people a good chance to get in there, get comfortable, have a couple drinks.
Should be food there?
No.
Popcorn.
Maybe popcorn.
It's nice of you.
Whatever you can smuggle in.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So
So eat before
you.
you come, and then have a couple drinks, and then we can leave there with an appetite and go hit an after spot,
There you go.
I
After
figure.
party.
So we got the spot till 11
And
o'clock.
it's in Grand Rapids. It's a fun town.
Oh,
If you haven't been.
There's going to be
There's
a whole...
very few funner towns, really. Grand Rapids is
It's
awesome.
a great time.
Yep, it's goes back and forth with some spot in South Carolina for microbrew capital of the world.
There's a lot
Not a
of them
bad spot to be come
And it's
late
in Michigan.
January.
And it's in Michigan.
The Hunting Time Expos that day, we're going to be in the Exodus booth.
Mm-hmm.
XOP is going to have a booth there. We'll probably hang out at their booth a little bit.
There'll be a lot of guys there.
God, it's going to be fun, man. Holy
Yeah.
shit. A lot of people in Grand Rapids have already inquired. I wasn't even planning on putting this information out, but because people have been asking, I wanted to get ahead of it. So go to our website, buy your ticket. Make sure you get a seat and that you can come. BHA is going to be sending a mailer out.
Nice.
A lot of people are going to get that, so I wanted to make sure that the podcast listeners get that before the mailer goes out. And then Michigan Out of Doors, we're cutting a piece of the film, and Jimmy Gretzinger, Jordan's working with him. We're gonna have something on Michigan Out of Doors. I think like a
Nice.
little.
Teaser.
Yeah, Jimmy hunts the Pigeon River State Forest. He actually has a place up there, and so he's pretty passionate about that. And so we're just conversing, and he thought it was so cool that we were doing a deer hunting film up there.
Yeah.
He's like, "You're doing a deer hunting film up there?" It's like not a target-rich environment, And I was like, "Yeah,
But
no,
we love
I
it."
do."
Yeah.
But so yeah, they're gonna run a little piece on Michigan Out of Doors, which a lot of people I assume will see. So I'm thinking the thing's gonna sell out, but I want to make sure all the podcast listeners get first cracks at the tickets, and it'll be like our first like meetup, which would be awesome, dude. Come out, drink some beers, show us photos of deer hunting for the season, shake hands.
110th episode maybe recorded.
We're gonna be we're gonna be deep into our 100th episodes.
Bring your Liva's A game face.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
There will be some beers dying
Yeah.
that day.
Yeah.
Lock up the women.
And,
Lock up your dogs.
We're going to partner on the event, obviously, with Backcountry Hunters and Anglers for the night. There's going to be some raffles, it sounds like, some giveaways. There's going to be some stuff going on there. I don't know that there will be more fun thing to do on the January 26th evening.
There isn't.
Some money to be raised for BHA.
And we're going to give a portion of the proceeds
Wow.
for the night back to Backcountry Hunters and Anglers. So
Reason for the season, man.
basically, if you hate public lands and conservation, don't come.
Yeah. And we hate you.
You'll be found.
Yeah. Well, that was a good way to
Threaten them.
bring it out.
Huh?
Yeah. Why don't you give us a review on iTunes?
While
rating.
you're at it.
Yeah.
It only makes sense that the 100th episode would end with like 45 minutes ago going, well, let's wrap this thing up.
No, we've been pretty good.
That's how we normally do it, isn't it?
I can't believe that's the longest podcast we've done in a long time, huh?
We used to do these all the time. This is old
Meat Cough,
OG
we usually
stuff.
break 3 hours.
Yeah, but I don't
OG.
know that we've broke 3 hours and
No, it's been one hot second.
yeah.
Maybe since the 50th episode.
I think last time Jason was on here, we broke 3.
He was on up at Buckhorn.
We used to break 3 quite a bit, but it was when the garage doors were open and it was nice
Summer.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I hope to see as many faces as possible.
What do we wear?
It's just been, I don't know, it's cool to like get to know people, and that'd be a great opportunity. Through this whole thing, it's just been crazy, like how we have like relationships with people that live in different states that deer hunt and shit, and I take those relationships at a way bigger value than like taking some sponsorship checks and running this thing in the traditional.
I talk to
fashion.
some listeners from the podcast more than I talk to friends from high school anymore.
Oh, I do. And
Yep.
BHA guys.
Oh, yeah. Come on out. I look better in person.
Big thanks to all the Patreon guys for keeping this thing going.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
I think we're at like 14 guys, huh? That fund this show. Yeah, there's about 14 of you.
Hey.
You guys are standouts in the community.
You know what? The
huh?
rest of the listeners, they really need to send those guys a thank you letter. you know?
Yeah, they do. No, I'd like to see those guys at the show. Buy them a beer, shake their hand.
Mm-hmm.
God, that's gonna be fun, man.
I'm looking forward to it.
It's going to be a shit show.
Dude.
We'll keep
No, it's
it.
going to be a good show.
No, the premiere will be fine. I'm talking about anything after.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The after party's probably going to be pretty rich.
The Block Hotel or the bar at the hotel after
Dude,
the.
Dude,
What if it's anything like that after the Dan and Fall Scouting clinic?
whenever I know I don't.
Well,
No, it can't
we could
be
only
like
hope for.
Our wives will be there to keep us in check at least.
Maybe
a
they
little
will
bit.
be there in their underwear. It'd be awesome.
Oh boy, yeah,
Yeah.
that would be better. That would
Right,
Be better.
I would like a whole lot better what the hell happened at the info one. God, turn the thing into a gay Asian bathhouse.
Oh my gosh.
Hashtag no homo.
Yeah, whenever I know I don't have to drive anywhere, then usually the gloves are off.
Oh man, that was the worst hangover I've had.
That's
in years.
what's great about Grand Rapids too, man. There's all kinds of transportation. Everything's close, clean.
That town is
High octane beer.
set up for getting just hammered drunk.
Yeah. The best beer in the world. I'm going to say it.
Yeah,
That's good.
yeah. It's.
There's Founders.
I'm glad we chose to do it there.
Hopcat. There's
Mm-hmm.
quite a few just killer breweries.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks,
Thank you.
buddies.
Thank you.
100 down.
Woo!
100.
Congrats.
To go.
I don't know.
Stack
huh?
'em high, tough guy.
Give me that paw.
Can I get
Give
your
me that
paw? Your big old meat.
That big
mitten.
old man pleaser there.
Give me that big old monkey.
I gave it $20 to
Stinky
show me
old
that monkey.
Garbage hand.
It's been real.
Yes, it has been.
It
I can't
has,
wait.
right?
It's been a true journey, man.
Yeah.
It really has.
Yeah, it's.
And hopefully we can get a couple more podcasts in before the season's over with all
I
of
really
us.
like the guys that message in and say they like the podcast and that they've picked a couple things up here and there and it's
Oh,
helped them. Like
that's
the
flat. I mean, that's I don't know. Man.
the big
It's honor.
big part
Yeah.
of this whole thing is just everybody, all you guys, the whole listeners. It's all a big community thing, you
Mhm.
know. They say it takes a community to raise a kid. I think it takes a community to raise a deer hunter nowadays, you know.
We could use a
And-
community's
and
help.
I'd
This
like
guy
to,
needs to go back to work. He keeps slipping into that Minnesota accent there every once in
Yeah.
a while.
Dude, we were so bad up at deer camp.
yeah,
He never came out of deer
Oh,
camp.
man.
that's a problem, huh?
We bounced between Maine, Minnesota, UP.
Oh wow,
Oh man,
Well,
what a hoot!
you'll hear it on the next one, or well, this is after the next one.
yeah.
Something.
No, yeah, this will be prior.
Yeah.
This will be before the
You're right.
deer camp one.
It is a problem. I don't know what the hell happened, but I gotta stop listening to Big Wood Bucks. I think.
Yeah.
Dude, those guys are fucking.
Oh
I
my
hope.
gosh!
I think it's too much Big Woods Bucks.
I
I
think
love
I might
those
sign up
guys.
for their website. It's like $30 a year.
I
You
do
get all their
too. I
content.
want to.
I'm looking.
They're like,
I
hey,
don't-
we're giving away a
$30 is
sticker.
hard
I'm
to-
like, big deal. And then after like a couple weeks later, I'm like, enter my name, enter my
Yeah.
name, enter my name. I want a Big Bucks Wood sticker, you know.
I'm thinking about joining their fan club this next year,
Dude.
but I'm $30 is tough to part with right
I
now.
do like those guys. I think those guys are
Good
standouts.
guys.
Standouts.
Oh yeah,
BigWoodsBucks.com.
You can go out there and they will set you up on deer. They got out their whole
Yeah.
lodging guiding service. It's amazing. I'm thinking about wanting to go up there. And
I do.
pay the money just to hang out with those guys.
I
you know,
feel
like,
the same way. I'd like to go up there.
that'd be a
Those
fun
guys
trip.
are
Could
the
you think
shit,
about the
man.
4 of us going up there and hunting with those guys, tracking deer?
Dude, I was so jealous. I
Oh,
couldn't
man.
stop talking with like
Crazy.
my Yooper Mainish accent all deer camp. I just wish it was real.
I haven't been able to shake it.
Wish it was real.
God.
Those guys are some real woodsmen.
Good
for
dudes.
sure.
A lot of great wealth of knowledge.
Well, we'll be back soon.
Yes,
Yep.
we will be.
Yep.
And
Come
hopefully-
out and see us at the premiere. We want to shake your hand, drink a beer with you.
Cut loose, man. Talk
Be a good
about
time.
public land.
Yep.
I'm looking forward to it.
Fat